You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network. You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports.
Podcast is under review.
After reviewing the play, the call on the ice stands. We're gonna go.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a very special installment of the Under Review Hockey Podcast, right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network, your October 6th, 2020 edition. Obviously, for the round one of the NHL draft, your source of North American sports coverage by sports fans, for sports fans, delivered to you right here in the good old Niagara region. You can find us on social media for updates, giveaways, and sponsorship promo codes each month by searching us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can listen to us on which is our main platform on Spreaker.com and the free Spreaker app. As well, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, CastBox, and Deezer by searching the Armchair GM Sports Network. We are live on YouTube. We're going to be starting to do more live YouTube stuff, so thank you for tuning in on YouTube as well. And lastly, check out our beautiful user-friendly website, armchairgmsports.com, for all things regarding our network, which includes articles, podcast episodes, sponsors, and contributors. Everything's on there for you guys, so make sure you're checking us out wherever it's most convenient for you to listen to us. And as always, I'm one of your hosts of the Under Review Podcast, Cappy, and co-owner of the Armchair GM Sports Network. You can follow me on Twitter at Capoots13 with a Canadian Z, and I'm always very pleased to be joined on the hockey portion of the network by my friend and co-owner, the other co-owner of the Armchair GM Sports Network, Kyle.
That's me.
That's you. You can follow him on Twitter at JustKyle51. Kyle, we're here to react to round one of the 2020 NHL draft, so happy draft day to everybody out there. Again, it's going to be a lot different this year. Everybody's doing the virtual stuff. We're doing live camera for the first time on this podcast, so really looking forward to it, and thought, you know what, it wouldn't have been a better time than to do it for the round one of the NHL draft, Kyle, since all the prospects are going to be doing the same type of thing.
Yeah, I'm just actually, again, this is our like beta test of going live, so I'm actually just checking in, making sure everything is looking smoothly. We're a little bit buffering and laggy on the YouTube side, so I'm adjusting as we go, so bear with us, guys, as we do this.
Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. Yeah, we're trying.
The video buffers and catch up with itself, but that, you know, that's YouTube. I guess through this pandemic, they've been very buggy. I know from live streaming on YouTube with my other stuff that I do that it sucks, but again, it looks like we're running smooth now. So yeah, here to react to the NHL draft. I'm excited. As you can see, their big giant logo, and we're on cam. We're on video form. Look at us go.
Video form, yeah. So we're getting there. Form. So if you get POG form, yeah, if you're a Simpsons fan. But yeah, if you guys can hear us well in the chat, please let us know. We'll try to be in there as much as possible. Yeah, Kyle, so round one of the NHL draft, obviously we don't know when it's going to start because they said that the coverage is going from 7 to 10 p.m. So that's it's very vague there, Sportsnet.
Jeez,
so thank you for that.
When we were prepping for this, we were like, is it 8 or is it 7? We saw like 8 p.m. We saw 7 p.m. It's like, what? When the hell is this thing starting? Like, give us when's the first pick gonna happen? I mean, it's virtual.
Well, Gary Bettman's on the screen right now.
Oh,
welcoming everybody to the NHL draft.
Okay, so we might actually get the pick here, or the does he got virtual booze happening?
No, but he had a mask on, so that's interesting.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, so guys, we're going to try to be doing more YouTube stuff on this network. Try to give you guys more, what's the point of doing YouTube if you can't do video? I mean, who's gonna go on YouTube and just listen to something? I don't know. Yeah. That's not maybe for a few things, but not for hour-long podcasts. So thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. We're going to try to analyze the picks as much as possible when they come in. But again, this is a very rare circumstance. So we're still going to be testing things out, just like the NHL is going to be kind of testing it out on the fly as well. But With that being said, Kyle, we did have a trade to announce earlier today.
We did have a trade to announce, and we have something special lined up for that. Hit it.
We have a trade to announce. And for those of you in the building, you'll be particularly interested.
I guess we'll be particularly interested, according to Gary Bettman. And yeah, it was. It was an interesting trade. Max Domi on his way over to Columbus.
Yeah, along with a third-round pick for the rights to Josh Anderson. So, again, very interesting for those two players swapping. But Max Domi to Columbus. So I'm not really sure. Again, both these players, it's the rights, so they don't necessarily have to sign with Columbus. We talk about RFA and rights and things like that, but I'm trying to get cap friendly up here right now to kind of take a look at what they're looking at as far as. But I mean, on the surface, I mean, what do you think of this trade, Kyle? Just like as your instant reaction to it without really looking into anything.
I see. Like I knew they were going to trade Max Domi. Like there's been talks about Max Domi for the last couple of weeks now, leading up to the draft. I just didn't think it was going to happen before the draft. I kind of expected it maybe during the draft. I wanted some kind of special when we were watching the draft, something exciting to look forward to, but happening, a couple of hours before the draft is still okay in a way. But yeah, it's an interesting trade, especially coming from Montreal's end, who you think they probably want to hang on to a guy like Max Domi. Like I'm looking at their team and I'm like, why would you want to get rid of this guy? I know you're replacing him with a pretty good player, and not gonna in Josh Anderson, but yikes, I don't know. If I was a Montreal fan, I'd be pretty mad. I haven't really gathered what Montreal fans are.
Especially adding in that third round pick as well. Like I don't know what both of them are restricted free agents. So again, they both have to the rights. They belong to the rights belong to Montreal and Columbus, but they have to tender them with a qualifying offer before they can receive any compensation if a team decides to offer sheet them. But I guess this is essentially just to try to see if they can negotiate with either player. But at least they'll have a little bit more of a leeway than most other players, that are UFAs that are getting their rights traded. So the New York Rangers are now on the clock.
All right, so it's a good thing we started this trade. So 7:15, right in the dot. That's pretty good. So yep. Rangers are on the clock, and God, I wonder who they're gonna pick.
I mean, it's pretty. Again, for you people who are, avid hockey watchers, you should probably know what's coming. But Alexis Lafreniere is the consensus number 1 overall pick from the Quebec Major Junior League, the Rimouski Oceanic. Very solid player. Standout for Team Canada in the World Juniors. Just obviously they're going to get a very nice player with him. And the Rangers 2 years in a row moving up and getting rewarded in the NHL draft lottery. The first year, last year they got Capo Caco moving up in the draft lottery to number 2, and now they're going to get Alexis Lafreniere number 1. Kyle, just must be nice to have a quick rebuild in New York. As you can see behind me, my Sabres have yet to learn what it's like to have a rebuild come to fruition after almost 10 years. So
yeah, I know. I can actually feel the New York Rangers with that. Look at the picks that the Leafs had for the last couple of years with Marner, Nylander, and Matthews. So, I feel them there. We haven't won the lottery that greatly in 2 years, obviously, with where Marner falling at 4 is pretty good pick, especially for the player that he is. So, in any redraft, he probably would go in the top 3 at least, maybe even number 2.
Yeah, but the only lottery that the Leafs were really in was the Matthews lottery, and they won that one. So
but Rangers going number 2 last year and number 1 this year. That's pretty rewarded.
Yeah, especially they weren't a bottom 5 team in each year. So just must be nice, Rangers.
Pretty much. Nice. Yeah. And I don't see a swerve happening here. I can't see them going, you know what, we're going to pick Byfield or Schultz or Stutz or whatever, however you say that guy's name.
Tim Stutzel.
Stutzel. The German, another German sniper.
You should know him. You're German.
Like this much.
Yeah. Well, you cheer for Germany in the World Cup. Is that not enough?
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah. So the Rangers, they got 2:50 left on the clock here. I guess the NHL basically just told them milk it out so we can talk for 5 minutes. It's usually what happens in the NFL draft. The clock runs for 10 minutes and then they finally make the selection. Yeah. Looks like Jeff Gorton's just sitting here waiting okay, when can you give me the go ahead here? Is he gonna thank everybody in Montreal even though there's not a draft in Montreal this year?
And
is he going to thank everybody under the sun?
I just seen they had 3 first-round picks in 2018, which I totally forgot about. The Rangers and Niles Lundqvist, Keandre Miller, and Vitaly Kravtsov. Then I see 2017. I see Elias Anderson.
Yeah,
Mister, I throw my medal into the crowd, which we
silver
missed.
medal.
We were there, but we didn't see that.
Yeah. Just posting this on the social medias. Make sure you guys are checking us out. Again, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are on there, Armchair GM Sports Network. And check out our website as well, armchairgmsports.com.
You know, it must be different for the GMs. You see, like, you saw that the footage they just put up there of them, like, interacting on the floor and talking to each other. Now that they can't do that, they literally have to rely on their phone in their war room to talk to each other.
And again, I'm not hating on people who are technologically, behind, I guess you could say, on some, as opposed to some other generations. But it looks like these guys, they don't really seem like the most technically sound individuals as far as knowing how to work Zoom or knowing how to make conference calls or things like that. So we've seen, even with the conference calls with coaches and GMs over the summertime, it does have its challenges.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at Lafreniere's little background there.
Oh yeah, they got him and they got him and Crosby on the screen, both playing for Rimouski. So
look at, like, the gold Gatorade bottle. What is that? What is that?
Gold Gatorade bottle. Maybe it's when you knock the Gatorade bottle off so many times, you get a gold one.
Yeah, that's the CHL Player of the Year. You win it twice in a row, you get a gold a gold Gatorade bottle. We got Adam McDonald in the chat. What's going on? Hi. And he's got a Leaf logo in his picture. Look at that.
Oh, kick this guy out of the chat.
Nah, he's staying. He can stay all he wants.
Well, Kyle, plug your show while he's in here.
Yeah, I have a Leafs podcast that I run. I did my first video version. Brandon, I did my first video version one last episode. Talked about obviously the big elephant in the room with Pietrangelo. I talked about the recent signings of the head coaches, Manny Malhotra and Paul McLean. I also talked a little bit about who the Leafs should take with their 15th overall pick in this draft that we're covering right now. And I really hope... I want the Leafs to do 2 things. Oh, the pick's in? All right.
Gary Bettman's telling the Rangers to go ahead. And here we go. First overall selection. Well, there it is.
Big shocker.
Is a New York Ranger, ladies and gentlemen. Shock of the draft right there to you Rangers fans out there. Congratulations. Again, you're getting a great player there and accelerating that continual rebuild, back up the standings for the New York Rangers. Just an amazing player, Alexis Lafreniere, a guy who's been projected for a few years now to be the prized possession of this draft.
Does Gary Bettman have to keep taking on and off his mask every time he talks there at the desk? He's not around anybody. Why does he do that?
It's for show.
I guess. He's maybe.
Look at that. Wayne Gretzky reminds me of Gilbert Perreault.
Wow.
The legendary Buffalo Sabre, actually Mr. Buffalo Sabre, if you talk to people my dad's generation. Handles the puck great. And first skater from Quebec selected first overall since Vincent Lecavalier in 1998. Okay. Again, this is the guy that was destined for the Montreal Canadiens, and they decided to screw that up. Would you have liked that, Kyle? Because I know that they showed Lafreniere walking around the Bell Center and looking at all the banners in Montreal. How would you have liked to see Alexis Lafreniere in Montreal?
No, I feel 2 ways about that. Well, I mean, you should feel it too. They're in the same damn division. A, B. You know what? It would be good for them, and they have like probably a player that could actually stay in their team for more than 2 years before getting traded. Mm-hmm. The only person that's done that in the Montreal Canadiens is Carey Price.
I guess so.
And Shea Weber, but they can't trade that contract to anybody, so like he's stuck there basically. If they could trade Shea Weber, I guarantee he'd be gone. So
Kyle, what are we looking at here? The LA Kings are on the clock. Again, if you look at a lot of mock drafts here, I'm looking at Sportsnet. They've got Tim Stützle at number 2. Actually,
I've seen a mix with this.
Byfield at 3.
Such
and
a
then
mix.
there's there's also a mix here on the hockey writers. They have Lucas Raymond going number 2, so it really could be a crapshoot here.
No.
I mean, this really could have a ripple effect for the draft coming up here.
I see Stultz or Byfield. There's no way anybody's going to jump those two. Those two are like prime top 3 players in this draft. There's no way they're going to get jumped. I see LA doing the smart thing and taking Quinton Byfield here. You do not pass up on a guy like this, especially on a rebuilding team like the Los Angeles Kings. These guys are in the midst of out with the old, in with the new, young and fresh kids, right? We've seen that with their last couple of drafts and the prospects that they have now that they've gathered. You go for your big power forward center guy that you can build around. You pick Quinton Byfield. You do not pass up on a guy like this.
It makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, Byfield seems like he'd fit right in LA. He seems like a Western Conference type of player, a big body, like in the trenches there in the Western Conference. It's always been known as the, more bruising conference. So it seems like he'd fit right in there with LA, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting. They got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock here as well. We again, after this pick, we'll kind of talk about it. But I also want to give a couple shout outs to our sponsors as well, because they help support this network and keep the shows on the air. So got some exciting plugs for them as well coming up. But right now they got the LA Kings. I mean, again, like you mentioned, they're in a rebuilding phase, so they have a lot of needs. Obviously, their cap situation isn't the greatest, but the LA Kings here, obviously jumping up in the lottery up to number 2. I'm sure they're very happy about that, Kyle. They're going to add another nice piece to their puzzle here. If you play the NHL GM modes on the NHL 20 video games, you know that LA is a very tough pick. A tough team to try to rebuild with all the bad contracts that they have on their roster.
If you just turn salary cap off, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
But what's the fun in that?
The last time the LA Kings picked number 2 was Drew Doughty, so that worked out pretty well for them.
Okay, so this number 2 pick by them's got a lot of expectations, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I guess so. They do.
And now,
but nope. They're talking to Jeff Gorton about the pick for Alexis Lafreniere, so nothing really too major going on right now. Still a minute left. The Kings haven't pick is not in for the LA Kings. Do you think they're still waiting? Like, did they have no idea that Lafreniere was getting taken at number 1 overall? Like, did that really hit them out of left field?
Oh man. Like,
this is gonna be a long night.
You can't sit there and expect that. I mean, there's probably like a small train of thought, maybe like one person in the room kind of thing, or maybe like it's got to be a thought there the whole time that there's probably a chance that maybe they see something in Byfield over Lafreniere. Maybe Byfield fit the mold more, and then they were comfortable passing up on Lafreniere. But then the smart thing obviously was you're not passing up on a generational player like Lafreniere. So for them not to have a game plan right now, unless the only way that picks that take this long is maybe there's a trade on the table possibly to move up to number 2, and they're kind of talking things back and forth with the GM. If not, then it's just, I don't know, for what? Theatrics? The Skype calls down?
I guess so. Pick is now in for the LA Kings,
okay.
So
I see it being for sure Byfield. I'm gonna stick with Byfield.
I'm gonna go with just hopefully they take somebody off the map, and then we can give us a lot to talk about. Here we go. Alex Turcotte was a very nice pick for them last year as well. So they got they're on the right track here with the LA Kings and their rebuild. Rob Blake announcing the pick. Here it is. Oh,
smart pick.
There you have it. Quinton Byfield is a Los Angeles King with the second overall selection.
I love that pick. Again, I'm gonna scream. I love that pick. Me and Brandon especially have had the absolute pleasure of seeing this kid play covering the Niagara Ice Dogs. Whenever he was in town or the Sudbury Wolves were in town, he was probably the most noticeable player out there. His sheer size, his NHL ready shot, and again, I think his sheer size and how he plays the game at that size, how he plays it to a pro level is a steal for the Los Angeles Kings. You build around this guy. He's your number 1 center going forward. 100%. Like not trying to say like this coming season, but as the Kings right now are starting to continue to rebuild, Quinn Byfield's your guy.
You think so?
Yes, 100%. I know that
Alex Turcotte.
And I know our other boys down there as well, too. Akil Thomas. I mean, there's another guy you can build around as well. Alex Turcotte, like you said. They have a lot of solid pieces. They have a really solid shelf when it comes to their prospects to rebuild this team right. They just have to start phasing out the old, man. This was a really good pick. I love this pick.
Mm-hmm. But again, guys, we got a lot of key sponsors that we want to go over tonight, and a few promotions that they're going to be doing. So with Ottawa just now being on the clock here, let's give a shout out here to J&L Flooring, a Niagara-based specialty flooring and design company. Simplified processes and making homes beautiful are their specialties. Their October special is a vinyl plank flooring at spectacular prices and receive free cleaning kits. So check them out, J&L Flooring on Facebook. You can see a cleaning kit there. You get a free retail value of $70. Absolutely free. Some restrictions apply. Give them a call, 905-358-3299 and jnlflooring.com to start today. Again, check out that October special, the vinyl plank flooring and receiving the free cleaning kit as well. So JNL Flooring on Facebook and jnlflooring.com. So with that being said, Kyle, let's take a look at number 3 and the Ottawa Senators. They have a couple of picks in the top 5 here. They have 3 and number 5 overall. So they have a lot of options here.
I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if Ottawa either does 2 things here. The second one, least likely. The first one, most likely to happen. Most likely to happen, to skip Tim Stoltz and go right for Jamie Drysdale. They need another defenseman to build around, including Thomas Chabot. You're going to want a 1-2 punch with Chabot and Drysdale. Why not try to go for him right now and jump that pick? I know you have pick number 5 as well that they have, but you're taking a chance with Detroit taking Drysdale at number 4, which there's a lot of talk that they might actually take Drysdale at number 4 or even pass on him and go for Cole Perfetti, who's ranked number 5th on the draft ranking sheet I'm looking at. So I don't put it past Ottawa here to bypass Stoltz and go for Jamie Drysdale. They have a lot of forward prospect in a way. Guys like Logan Brown, Colin White, Drake Batherson, they have a good prospect pool to not go for a forward with this first pick. If they want to go for Jamie Drysdale, who's been very highly touted as a top defenseman in this draft, you go for him at number 3 here. You don't wait.
I mean, they're gonna. I mean, he is the top defenseman available. So I mean, they'll get their pick at a lot of good forwards at number 5. It's not like they have to wait too long, and basically, they just have to wait for one team to make their selection.
I can't see them wanting to wait here, because if they don't take Drysdale here, Detroit's taking him 100%. That pick will be locked in 30 seconds. And he was a good player too. We got the opportunity to see him play. Drysdale was extremely noticeable on the Erie Otters this year. I remember the games that we went to, there were other noticeable things, maybe mainly in the press box, that were a little bit more noticeable. We'll go there. But on the ice, Jamie Drysdale, for sure, he looked very good.
And even for Team Canada in the World Juniors, he was the guy on the defense. He was the power play quarterback back there for Team Canada. So he looked real good. And again, he even played last year as a younger defenseman. So I really liked what Jamie Drysdale brought. He was, like you mentioned, always noticeable on the ice for the Erie Otters, was a big contributor for them. Can go back for one more year if he doesn't make the NHL roster this year. But by the consensus of everybody, the number 1 top defenseman available in this draft. So if you're Ottawa, why not just take him and then wait on one of the other? If you really think that there's not going to be much difference between all these forwards, you take the best D, and then you have the 5th overall pick, and you take one of the best forwards available, whichever one doesn't go at number 4. So to Detroit, because obviously Detroit's they're most likely going to take one of these top forwards, I would think. Tim Stützle comes to mind here because they already have a very good young forwards there as well. So
their D structure is really good too. Guys like Hronik, Chalowski. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Dennis Chalowski.
Yeah, these guys are going to be studs when they develop more. Detroit's looking very good with their prospect shelf as always. What else is new with Detroit?
Our buddy Rob wants to tell you that the Colin White is not a prospect anymore for the Ottawa Senators. Well,
I know. He's
I
like,
guess he's
what,
still a young
24,
player.
25 now? I'm 28, so I consider him a prospect.
Yeah, we're young here, Rob. Congratulations to your New York Rangers.
Yeah.
He's 23 years old, so I mean, Brady Tkachuk's 21, Well, also, I mean,
Rob,
Ottawa's
go
pick's
outside and
finally
enjoy
in.
the sun, because I know it's probably sunny in California still. So go outside, would you? You saw your guy pick.
Celebrate the Rangers and Alexis Lafreniere. Ottawa Senators pick is in.
All right, here we go.
Bettman's finally done with the taking the mask off thing.
He's made his point. He
What is this?
What is that?
Alex Trebek?
Oh my God. Oh, he's Canadian. I think he's from Ottawa, to be real. I totally forgot that they went back to their old logo. If anyone's wondering why I'm looking down on screen, I actually have my screen down here watching the draft. That's why I look down.
Tim Stützle is an
Yeah.
Ottawa Senator.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at the jeopardy. That is, with Alex Trebek, that's as Canadian as it gets right there.
Man.
And they take the German, Tim Stützle.
I can't argue that it's not a bad pick. You know what I mean? Like, he's obviously a stud, but to me personally, if I was GMing the Sens, I'd take Jamie Drysdale. That would have been just, that's my opinion. People can argue against that. But yeah, I totally forgot that they're going back to that old logo. What the heck's up with that? I guess, was that a fan consensus?
Yeah, and it's not the greatest quality. Oh, look at Tim Stützle's got the Sens jersey on
God,
now.
look at that.
I don't know how much he's gonna like that going forward.
So are these players like sent like a bunch of jerseys just in case? Like, here, we'll send you 32 or 31 jerseys. You may get picked by one of these. So when they're announced, grab it quick.
Yeah, or they're not allowed to know what jersey that they have, ready to go for them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I really want to know how that goes down.
So Tim Stützle, as according to Sportsnet here, strength skating and passing, room to improve, strength and D-zone coverage, potential first-line winger comparable to Patrick Kane. Third most points for under U18 player in the Dell League history.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, 34, his past season, he played 41 games in an adult-ready hockey league. Like, for people that don't know, like, when you play overseas in your junior career, you're playing with adults. Like, you're not playing with other junior kids. You play with a mix of them, but you're playing with a lot of NHL caliber, I guess you can say, or like pro caliber players. So in that 41 games, he had 34 points. Like, that's very good to get that many points in your junior, I guess, career over there overseas. So yeah, he played for Mannheim.
Yep. Mannheim
Dell.
Man, so yeah, good pick for Ottawa. We'll be talking about them coming back up at number 5, but number 4 here, the Detroit Red Wings, and again, for a team that had 39 points last year, very disappointing them dropping in the draft lottery from number 1 to number 4. That was not what the Red Wings were expecting, obviously. They're in the rebuild mode, clearly. They got some nice young players there. Philip Zadina, Dylan Larkin, looks like he's going to be the next captain of the team. So what are you thinking for the Detroit Red Wings here? Do you go up there and take Jamie Drysdale, or would you go for another one of these forwards?
I mean, I can't speak. It's tough that we sit here as obviously we know what our fan base is, or our team is, right? From a Detroit fan is going to know a lot more than we have. But if we're going to speak objectively from, like, I guess you can say, pun intended, armchair GMs here, I'd pick Jamie Drysdale in a heartbeat. The fact that the Sens passed up on him, I wouldn't look twice and just go for it. You're getting a stud defenseman to add to your already crop of stud defense on the team.
Yeah, I mean, they have Moritz Seider, Dennis Chalowski coming up, so those are two very solid, especially Moritz Seider. He was their top pick in last year's draft, so they obviously are very high on him as a defensive prospect. Joe Villano is another guy. So, I mean, Detroit, they'll take any, but I think they go with the forward here, to be honest with you. But
And I think it doesn't matter in a deep draft, especially with Detroit, a team that has 3 second-round picks in a deep draft. I think they're okay with whoever they take. If they want to take a Drysdale Hill or if they want to take a Cole Perfetti, like either or, you're going away with a solid pick, and you have a chance at 3 more solid picks in a deep draft, which you have 3 picks in the second round. Mm-hmm. So they're laughing right now.
So Lafreniere and Byfield and Stoltz is how the draft has gone so far. I'm just going to write this down to keep up with it because I'll probably lose it by midway through. But again, Detroit's still on the clock, 2:15 left. Detroit Red Wings, obviously Steve Yzerman. And you Red Wings fans, be patient. You know what Steve Yzerman did with the Tampa Bay Lightning and how successful he was at rebuilding that entire organization from top to bottom. So you'd think that he's going to be in here for the long haul with the Detroit Red Wings and try to bring that organization back up to where they were making the playoffs every single year.
As Mike Babcock said, there was going to be pain, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was in Detroit too. Yeah. So speaking of Mike Babcock, he might be, Seattle Kraken bound, but you never know. So Quentin Byfield goes number 2, and Tim Stützle number 3 overall. Kyle, anything shock you so far?
I'm looking at Detroit's pick pool. So they have 3 second-round picks this year, 3 next year, 2 third-round picks this year, 2 next year. Yep, they loaded up on draft picks coming up, man. They're in a prime spot to rebuild. So I think they'll take Drysdale. I honestly think that's going to be the pick. They just for the fact that the Sens passing up on that, and if the Sens did take Drysdale, they probably would go with Tim Stoltz, to be honest. I think it was either Stoltz or Drysdale that on their draft board.
Yeah, I feel like they liked Tim Stoltz a lot, and talking to a couple of Detroit fans, they wanted him as well. So, I mean, it would be – I'm pretty sure that's the guy that they probably wanted if they weren't going with Drysdale. So, again, they got to pick one of these other forwards or just go ahead and take Jamie Drysdale. So, we'll have to wait and see with that. But, geez, 30 seconds. They're getting closer, Detroit. Maybe they don't know what the pick is. Maybe they'll
maybe again it could be tough. Perfetti or Drysdale, man. It is a tough pick. I'm not gonna lie. That is a tough pick. Picture yourself, Brandon. What are you picking right away? Do you have a for sure pick?
I even like Holtz and Lucas Raymond as well. So yeah. I mean, there's Marco Rossi.
I think you're hoping for one of those two to drop down to the Sabres. Let's be real here.
I'm hoping for anything to drop to the Sabres. I mean, let's not start with that. But again, the pick is in for Detroit. Maybe there's technical difficulties. Is why it's taken so long. You never know.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman's at the podium. Chris Draper, director of amateur scouting.
Fun fact, I met this guy before. I made a stir fry for him when I used to cook. At one of my cooking jobs back in the day.
Lucas Raymond
is
a Detroit Red Wing.
Wow.
Number 4 overall, Lucas Raymond.
Okay, so their scouts saw something.
Everybody loves Raymond, I guess. Look at this.
Look at a fantasy team name you just created.
Yep. Everybody loved. Well, actually, I saw it on Sabres Twitter going around a poster someone made with, the family of, and it's all different Sabres.
That's insane, dude. A lot of draft rankings I have up here have him either going 6. There's one going at 5. There's 6, 7. Yeah, there's a lot. No one has it going at 4 in the rankings I have. That's insane.
I really think Tim Stützle messed things up. Ottawa taking him at 3 because I feel like that's the guy that Detroit would have wanted. Again, we can sit here and say that and speculate all we want, but that seems like the guy that Detroit would probably have been targeting as a forward.
So now Ottawa just got rewarded. Now they have to take If they don't take Drysdale here, then they're idiots. But I mean, they're run by Melnick, so I mean, I can't really sit here and be shocked.
That's true.
If he doesn't take Drysdale here, I swear to God, I will feel bad for any Ottawa fan listening to this.
With that being said, Kyle, I think it'd be another good time to plug one of our sponsors. And with that being said, Kyle, are you ready for Thanksgiving? Are you hungry for Thanksgiving?
You know what? It's a good question. One second. Let me think about that. I gotta think about that. You know what? When's Thanksgiving? Okay. What's today? Today is
October 6th. For us Canadians
6th,
up here,
okay,
Thanksgiving is
okay.
coming up this weekend.
I don't know if people. But you know what? Screw it. Go ahead. I am hungry.
All right. So the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill starting October 24th. So again, a little bit from now, they're starting their Center Street Shuffles coming back. So again, don't miss out. Opening on Thursday with the Avenue Inn kicking things off at 10 p.m. But again, what I want to talk about as far as Thanksgiving goes, they're doing a Thanksgiving dinner available for takeout and dine in. Like available October 10th to the 12th. So if you guys think it's last minute ideas for Thanksgiving, go and check them out at the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill. They're doing a butternut squash soup, a combination of white and dark turkey meat, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, seasoned carrots, corn, and cranberry sauce. Served with pumpkin pie. Only $25 plus tax.
Wow.
Easy. Simple for your
Woo.
Thanksgiving dinner. Again, pre-order by October 10th. Payment is due at the time of order. Call 905-371-2323 or the spicyolivebarandgrill.com. And again, Armchair Veal. Get 10% off courtesy of the Armchair GMs.
Veal.
Armchair Veal. Say that when you call or when you dine in. Again, 10% off your order courtesy of the Armchair GM Sports Network. And our partnership with the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill. Again, last minute ideas for Thanksgiving dinner, check them out, the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill. And again, the phone number is 905-371-2323. And pick up between October 10th to the 12th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So Kyle, I'm hungry for Thanksgiving. And again, for you guys out there in the Niagara region, please support your local businesses and give the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill some love and give them a try. And you get 10% off when you call and just give them our
Who doesn't like
promo
saving
code
money?
for the month. Exactly. 10% off just for saying Armchair Veal. Just for saying that the Armchair GM saying you get 10% off. What's better than that? So again, Spicy Olive Bar and Grill is doing their Thanksgiving dinner. Make sure you're checking them out. So with that being said, Kyle, number 5 and the Ottawa Senators back up here again. Like you said, you would be rushing up here to take Jamie Drysdale, obviously, if it was a live
Well, I
draft.
just want to say that Elliot Friedman tweeted 6 minutes ago before the pick was made for Detroit and wondering why it was taking so long. He puts, word is that Detroit is throwing a curveball. So you can say that again, Mr. Elliot Friedman.
Apologize for drinking on the air.
You got to stay hydrated.
I'm only drinking a Gatorade, folks. This is not, not doing anything that we wouldn't be doing as a professional job here. For those people working at home, Kyle, I'm sure all these people understand they have to take a few drinks while you're working at home. But just water and Gatorade, though.
Gotta stay hydrated. It's important.
Exactly. Drink your water.
And maybe we can get a Gatorade sponsor.
Maybe one day. One day we'll be sponsored by Gatorade. But with that being said, Ottawa's up. Anaheim is on deck here, and New Jersey's in the hole.
Speaking of Ottawa, they went back to the 2D print, and in their home jerseys, literally all black. All black pants, all black socks, and red stripes. They just released a trailer for their new jersey. Wow. Interesting. So they're going black and white. So if anyone wants to see, I'm gonna put it up on screen. I don't know how good you're gonna see video quality here with my phone, but yeah, they're going all black and white. God, that's horrible. There you go. Interesting. But yeah, take Drysdale. Are they still? Is it? Yeah, it's still on the clock, right? Let me switch back. I'm switching over to the tweeter or the Twitter.
The Twitter.
Yeah,
they're still on the clock here. 40 seconds left for the Ottawa Senators, but again,
teams with 2 picks in the top 5. Look at that. The Islanders in 97. In 97, they took Roberto Luongo.
Solid pick.
And the Islanders took him. My God. Oh boy. And
the Islanders made a lot of nice picks. Just they didn't hold on to them.
And our boy Trey Patterson has stepped into the chat, fellow co-host and contributor to the Armchair GM Sports Network. What's going on, Trey?
Probably he's excited about his Nashville Predators picking, 20,000th. I don't know where they're picking.
Oh, 20,000. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Guys should hang on.
It's usually where the Rangers pick.
They're actually picking 11th.
Yeah. All right. The Ottawa Senators pick is in.
Do not pass on Drysdale.
Pierre Dorian is ready to go.
No, it's not. It's not Alex Trebek again.
He's thanking Alex Trebek for the 3rd pick. Jake Sanderson.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my God, man, that pick. I think Detroit just curveballed the rest of the first round. What
Threw a
the
curveball. Look at this first round. So we got Stützle at 3, Raymond at 4, Jake Sanderson at 5. So Jamie Drysdale is still on the board here, along with Alexander Holtz, Cole Perfetti, and Marco Rossi.
All my
One of those
rankings.
players.
All my rankings I have between 8 and 11, Jake Sanderson, and each one of them gets taken at number 5.
So
wow.
Up now is Anaheim, then New Jersey, then Buffalo.
What do they see in Jake Sanderson that they don't see in Jamie Drysdale?
Let's look at the Anaheim Ducks here. And again, this is a team that they have some needs as well. They're trying to get away from these older players from their core. Obviously,
just like the Kings.
Getzlaf is 1 year left at $8.2 million at 35 years old. They need to go in a different direction here if you're the Anaheim Ducks.
Well, if you're phasing out a guy like, again, Getzlaf, Adam Henrique, I mean, what is he now, like 30 years old? He still can go probably for a couple of more years. It looks like our boy Kerry Meisner has joined the chat as well. But yeah, what's going on? They're all going crazy over not why Drysdale's being passed up here. What do people know? This is like a Bo Callahan moment here.
Bo Callahan draft day. I mean, great movie. You quoted me it today.
Yeah, I did.
Obviously, as we're preparing for this. But
if I'm looking at Anaheim, man, I don't pass on Drysdale. I'm going to say that every time he gets passed now. But the logical pick for an Anaheim Duck, I probably would go with Cole Perfetti or a Marco Rossi for sure.
I mean, they could go with Drysdale, though. A lot of their defensemen are aging, except for Jacob Larsson's 23. Looking at their farm system here, I mean, as far as defensemen go, Simone Benoit, Brendan Gooley, who they got from the Buffalo Sabres in a trade, Drew Hunter, former Niagara Ice Dog, Drew Hunter, and Axel Anderson. And yeah, I mean, if I'm them, I'm going with Drysdale. I really think that obviously by the time he's ready to go, maybe they'll be phasing out guys like Hampus Lindholm, Cam Fowler. Those types of guys will probably be most likely on their way out, if not close to being it. So I think Drysdale is a very solid selection. I think the Anaheim Ducks would be very happy to have him at number 6.
God, what's going on though? What is why? Why is Drysdale getting passed up?
And why Jake Sanderson was taken before him as well.
So what's going on here? That's it's the whole draft is looking weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ottawa taking Stützle kind of started the domino effect here. The domino effect here.
Poor Drysdale, man.
And now Jake Sanderson goes at number 5 when everybody had predicted that Jamie Drysdale was the number 1 clear-cut defenseman in this draft. And to have Jake Sanderson, who, I don't know about what your rankings are, but I'm going off Sportsnet. He was ranked number 6 on Sportsnet, and on the Hockey Writers, he was ranked number 9. So for him to go at 5, and I mean, Jamie Drysdale's still available on the board at number 6. I think if you're Anaheim, I can't believe that their pick's not in yet.
Between 8, everyone's pick now is going to be delayed because of what just transpired the last 3 picks. Because guarantee everyone's draft board is just like, oh well, now what the hell?
Can we have a team pull a Minnesota Vikings in the NFL draft and just completely miss their pick, and another team goes ahead and picks in front of them before they're ready to go?
In the first round in the NHL, I don't know, man. They get what? They get 5 timeouts, so I think they'll call a timeout before that happens.
No, we saw a timeout in the 6th round by Florida when we went to a live draft.
Florida?
Yeah, that was interesting. They got Quentin Byfield with his Kings jersey on, ready to rock on the TV, ready to go. Your former Leafs great Dallas Eakins is now the head coach in Anaheim. So, the Anaheim Ducks, they did not look too great. I'll tell you that for free.
Our boy Kerry Meisner puts, if Anaheim passes on Drysdale, he may slip to the Sabres. Could you imagine? Your team doesn't need any more defense.
Yeah, and unless Jamie Drysdale wants to go and play forward, then I don't really see the point in that.
You know what's a blessing is that Jake Sanderson was taken, because now your team's less likely to take a defenseman around your pick.
Yeah. A nice American defenseman there for
Because that'd be
Sabres.
typical you guys to take Jake Sanderson with your pick if he was available.
Yeah, that would have been the second time we took a U.S. development defenseman, and I didn't really like the first time that they did that a couple years ago.
Oh
so.
God, he's putting thoughts in your head. Imagine Drysdale and Dahlin as your 1-2 punch for D.
Yeah, he's I'm feeling the vibe from it right now, Kerry, but unfortunately, I think the Sabres have a lot bigger needs, especially up front, than going ahead and taking another defenseman. But again, the rankings, everybody's rankings have got to be messed up now. Like, I don't think anybody really expected.
If I took a
Sanders
guess,
to go.
I think they're going to take Marco Razzi,
Who?
the Anaheim Ducks.
I think they should take Drysdale, but again, who am I?
Yeah, I think they're going to take a forward here. Is the pick in?
Vander Kane sending out a nice tweet here. The second overall pick, becoming the highest drafted black player in NHL history. So good for him.
Yeah, that was man. But putting that aside, man, Byfield, he's a stud. I'm telling you right now, Kings fans, if you're listening,
he's a specimen.
He is going to be so good, man. He's going to be so good.
He's again, he's gonna fit right in the Western Conference with the LA Kings, that's for sure. A big body, they're gonna love him.
He's basically like Pierre-Luc Dubois, man. Like, they're both big guys, they're both skilled big guys. Like, you're basically getting a Pierre-Luc Dubois. Like,
I think a more physical version of Pierre-Luc Dubois. Pick is in for Anaheim.
Finally.
Trevor Zegras they got last year, which is a very nice pick at 9th.
Yeah, he was solid. I remember him playing Team USA for the States.
The Ducks fans and hometown heroes is what's going on right now on Ducks TV.
No.
They're all saying the pick is in, and it's just a bunch of different clips of people saying the pick is in.
Wow. Look at this.
This is quality television right here, folks. If you're watching Sportsnet's feed of this is and then it just goes to Bob Murray.
Hey, Bob.
Jamie Drysdale, finally. There you go.
All right.
And then they got Drysdale going nuts with his family. Terrible audio quality as usual, but that's to be expected. Jamie Drysdale finally goes at number 6 to the Anaheim Ducks. And before this draft started, if you're Anaheim, you have to be pretty pleased and probably shocked that you were able to get the number 1 defenseman at 6th overall.
Dude, he basically fell from like 3. I'm going to count him as number 3, from 3 to 6. Like, you're laughing.
47 points in 49 games for Jamie Drysdale.
If you're that Ducks fan, you're laughing right now. You are laughing at every team in front of you that missed on a Drysdale. Like, that is an insane pick. Good for them. Do we jump the gun here and just talk about what this next pick is? I'm not a fan of who's picking next because of the rewardness that this team's had. They're basically the Edmonton Oilers of the East.
What, you don't like the New Jersey Devils?
No, they're the Edmonton Oilers of the East. They've had how many like top picks the last couple of years and have done absolutely diddly squat with them? Jack Hughes had like the worst first year of like number 1 overall history.
I'm still a fan of Jack. Who's your daddy?
Yeah, Nico Hischey's a stud. I'll give him that. Like, he is an absolute like monster. He just needs the right guys to play with. So I think they go, like, I would have said they go D here, but they're reaching.
Drysdale and Sanderson aren't.
Yeah,
they were the top 2.
You're reaching for a D.
Gooley?
You're reaching
Caden
for a
Gooley?
D. Like, you're
Or
reaching.
Braden Schneider?
Yeah, you're reaching for one of them if you're going with this pick. You're either trading this pick down, or you're taking a forward, like best available forward, which is either a Cole Perfetti and a Rotzi. Are you kidding me? One of these two are going to the New Jersey Devils. Are you kidding me? Like, get rewarded, New Jersey Devils.
And another one's going to the Buffalo Sabres, hopefully, which is what I'm looking forward to talking about here. But, yeah, I mean, Jake Sanderson, I mean, he was projected number 4 by Sportsnet, but the hockey writers had him at number 9. So
who do you want more? Talking to you, because you guys are on deck here. Like, are you more of a fan of because you guys are either going to take a Rotzi or Perfetti. There's no way you're going to, unless you have a fascination with Alexander Holtz. Like, you're taking either a Holtz, Perfetti, or a Rotzi here. Who do you like more?
Well, they already have some very young, skilled forwards. I mean, Middlestead hasn't worked out as a center, obviously. They really believe in Dylan Cousins being the number 2 center of the future. So I think they go with a winger here, as their wingers just really aren't getting it done, and they don't really have a great young crop of young wingers. So I would say, unless you consider moving Marco Rossi to the wing, which I'd be okay with, I think now that Lucas Raymond is gone, I would go with Cole Perfetti. But that's just me. He's a little bit, he doesn't have the greatest speed, greatest size in the world, excuse me. But I think, he's an actual winger as opposed to Rossi being a center. I would think that they would go with Perfetti, although Marco Rossi really skyrocketed with the Ottawa 67s this year. And he had a fantastic season.
I can't see New Jersey taking another center. You got Hishe that was a center. You got Jack Hughes, who was a center. Like, why do they need another center?
I think they were hoping that one of those 2 defensemen were still down there.
Yeah, I guarantee they're way. They probably saw like a Jake Sanderson, or like, we're taking him like 100%. But
yeah, and now they have a decision to make, or maybe they
trade down.
Maybe a team calls. Maybe a team. Yeah. The Toronto Maple Leafs give them a call.
We don't need a forward. We're good where we are because we have a chance of picking a D in that spot.
They need a lot of things, the Leafs.
We're okay at forwards. We're okay.
They're in commercial right now.
Okay,
so
while
with that being said, while they're in commercial,
we have a commercial.
They're back now. Yeah, we'll do a small plug here. The Niagara Employment Help Center, helping job seekers find work with their free counseling services and professionals, located at 6100 Throwstone Road, Niagara Falls, across from Camisos Plaza. Book your appointment today at 905-358-0021 or ehc.on.ca. Again, the Niagara Employment Help Center. So again, if you're looking for a job during these tough times, give them a shout over there at the Niagara Employment Help Center, and they'll help you out as best they can to steer you in the right direction and help you find a job during these tough times. So with that being said, New Jersey is back on the clock. Well, they're on the clock, but back from commercial here with 1:30 left. And Tom Fitzgerald, another former Toronto Maple Leaf, now the general manager, executive VP and general manager, Tom Fitzgerald. Can you did you ever envision him being in that role when he was a Toronto Maple Leaf?
No, I didn't like Tom Fitzgerald. I wasn't a Fitzgerald fan when he was on the team. He was just like a fourth line bum that I just didn't want in the team.
And new head coach Lindy Ruff, I don't know how new that is, but again, for Buffalo Sabres and New York Ranger fans out there, you know what Lindy Ruff can do and you know what he can't do. But I guess the New Jersey Devils believed in him enough that even though he has an old coaching style, that he can somehow relate to the new NHL, and we'll have to see if it works out in New Jersey for him or not. But Marty Brodeur back in the organization as well as an advisor, so a very new look New Jersey Devils here with the management group there and head coach Lindy Ruff with Tom Fitzgerald, Marty Brodeur. Kyle, what are you really believing here with the Devils?
Like they're like a couple of tweaks away from actually being a Stanley Cup competing team again.
Taylor Hall.
Yeah. I think Mackenzie Blackwood is, I think in the last year or two or year and a half, he's really come out of his shell and really shown that he could be the starting goaltender for this team. I think they have guys in the front end that are ready to carry this team once they develop a little bit more. I know Jack Hughes probably had one of the most roughest years, especially for a first overall pick. The guy rocked the third and fourth line for most of it. That's pretty sad for a guy that was really highly touted. But you see what they have in their younger players. They have a very nice structurally built team when it comes to their prospect core and the guys that are on the team now. Defense-wise, they're okay. I still think they could
Alexander Holtz.
Oh, they took Holtz. Okay, I didn't even know the pick was in.
They took the right winger, Alexander Holtz.
Okay, so they took they kind of reached. So now Buffalo's salivating here at either Rossi or
Cole Perfetti.
You guys, I'll try to speak on your behalf, but not exactly.
Very excited about this option.
I can't see reaching for Jack Quinn, even though he was probably he just come out as like an insane goal scorer this past year in the OHL.
Playing with Marco Rossi.
Yeah, you guys are going for Cole Perfetti. That's my guess. If out of all three of those guys, Cole Perfetti, who's a center left wing, a two-way guy that can score goals and potentially, hopefully, for your sake, be the missing piece to play with Jack Eichel.
Or to play on the second line wing even. They're desperate for top end skill on the wing to produce. And again, this is a big pick here for first-year general manager Kevin Adams. This is his first pick as a general manager, so you know he's going to want to get it right. Unless some team comes up and offers us a big package for this pick, but I don't see that happening. So if I'm Buffalo, I would take Cole Perfetti as a natural winger. But again, I'm not going to complain about Marco Rossi because we've seen players from junior hockey move from center to wing before, so it's not like it hasn't happened before.
He had 120 points this year with 40 goals, so like he's a stud. Like he's an absolute stud, and
for. Sorry to cut you off. For our sake, if we draft Marco Rossi, I'll be very interested to be talking to him during the season when the Ottawa 67s come to play in Niagara. So,
I think either or they're going to be coming back, right? They're both pretty young, and I think probably could use another year.
Neither of them will make. Yeah, neither of them will make the Sabres lineup in year one unless the Sabres are that desperate, which I don't think they are. They're content on having Dylan Cousins stay another year in the WHL last year. Yeah, he might get a chance this year, but definitely not in the top 6 role to begin. That's why Eric Stahl was brought in to kind of have that transition for Cousins to be brought in slowly. So I really like the acquisition of Eric Stahl. I said it on our Niagara Hockey Load on Sabres edition that my friend Austin Broad co-hosts with me. We'll be definitely doing an episode to talk about whatever pick the Sabres make with this selection coming up soon. But
pick's not in yet, right?
No, 3 minutes and 20 seconds still for the Sabres. I didn't even know that the Devils were even ready to go. I just kind of turned my head, and Tom Fitzgerald was already there.
So look at the next winger available. It's Dawson Mercer, who's that ranking 13 in the one look I'm looking at. I can't see you guys reaching for him. So it's literally going to come down to either a Jack Quinn, Rotzi, or Perfetti, which obviously best available Perfetti 100%. So hopefully you guys make the right pick. Following you guys is Minnesota, and we've seen what they did recently by trading David Dubnyk away to your second team right there in the background, the San Jose Sharks. So that tells me that they're going to be taking that best goalie available that's projected. He's in between 10 and 15. A lot of the rankings I've seen that Yaroslav Askarov from St. Petersburg in the VHL. So I think that was part of the move. So I honestly think Minnesota's going to take that goalie with the next pick.
I think Nashville would love to have another goalie that they could develop as well. I think that would be a guy that Nashville would probably look at. Again, it's risky to take a goaltender that high, but
he's very highly touted.
He looks like the consensus number one goaltender.
Did you see what Happy Bolin said about him?
Oh, Nikolai?
Yeah, he said A, because I think he's coaching him over there. A, he says he's NHL ready. B, he says he literally looks like an exact copy of me.
Ooh, if you're a fan of Nikolai Habibul, the Bulin Wall.
Yeah, he said he's ready to go. He can come and start right away. Like he's solid. He had pretty good numbers over there. He's a tall goalie, 6'3", $176. Probably needs to gain maybe a little bit more weight, but he had a .920 save percentage over there in 18 games, 2.45 goals against average, which is not bad, especially playing again at his age, being that young in a pro hockey level league already. So, and getting praise from probably one of the most stud goalies of all time. Maybe not stat wise, but I'd put Happy Bolin up there with one of the greats, man. Like he was. You remember back in those days with Tampa Bay, he was
his prime. Yeah, he was unstoppable.
I hated playing him when I was watching these. I hated playing him when he was starting. I'm like, we're not winning this game. Like Happy Bolin is he's the Bolin Wall. Like he was huge.
This, according to Sportsnet, they say about Askarov, may be a franchise changer, but patience comes with the price tag of taking a goalie in round one. Again, we know goaltenders take time. Obviously, Happy Boulin's going to say he's NHL ready because he wants to help him out, but we know that goaltenders, unless your name's Carey Price or Marc-Andre Fleury, you're not starting year one.
No, you're going in the top 3 if you're going to start year one. Let's be real here. Or top 5. I'll put it back top 5. But for his age, again, goalies take longer to develop too. Not a lot of people know that. A lot of players, let me know when the pick sings. I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's still not in.
Okay, so goalies take a lot more longer to develop. Like unless, again, like we just said, unless you're going in the top 5, you're not NHL ready. Goalies don't usually get ready until in between 20 and 23-ish, maybe closer to 23. I've seen some goalies go up to 25, and there's actually the rare case that a goalie doesn't come into the league and show promise until like he's 30 years old, which we've seen in a lot of goalies out there that just come and have these like random stints. Like Dave Rittich is one of them. That guy wasn't relevant until he's like 29 years old. So,
but Kevin Adams looks like he's at a draft table. They get like a draft table set up for him, look-alike.
Okay. So the pick's in, so you're not
Congratulating the
trading
Tampa
it.
Bay Lightning. Jack Quinn is a Buffalo Sabre.
Oh. So we need initial reaction and thoughts from Sabres fan here. Oh.
I don't.
Oh my God! Why are now Rotzi and Perfetti dropping? What the hell is happening?
I think I need a minute.
Wow! So they're just going by his last year in the OHL. The 52. I mean, 52 goals is insane in the OHL. Let's just put it that perspective. He played 38 games and he had 52 goals, and like the guy was over a goal a game player. But again, he played on a line with Marco Rossi, who made him look good. But they took a guy that Jack Quinn, who's, again, looking good in the OHL is not always necessarily good. AKA Connor Brown. Connor Brown put up like 120 points every year. He was in the OHL. Yeah, Nail Yakupov. But man, that's unless their scouts see something different here, which, I mean, we can't go by our word. We're not really made scouts, but we've watched the 67s play from covering the Ice Dogs this year, and I would have not taken Jack Quinn with that pick. That is insane.
Comparable to Mark Stone, potential NHL top line winger, skating and playmaking he needs to improve, but quick hands and hockey IQ were his best. So he was second in the league in goals to Leafs prospect Nick Robertson, but he was, again, this actually in the entire CHL, not just the OHL. But again, a lot of goals, but that comes when you're playing with a guy of Marco Rossi's capabilities.
Jack Quinn's not starting right away. Like, Jack Quinn's not Sabres opening day lineup made this year. So you're drafting another guy that you're hoping in like 2-3 years will be finally ready. I don't know. That's a weird pick for me. That is a very weird pick.
Again, like, he's a solid player, but I just, with what else was available on the board with Perfetti and Marco Rossi, his teammate from the 67s, I don't know if that was exactly the great, but again, they do need a winger, so that was probably the reason why they decided to go with Jack Quinn. Alexander Holtz was already taken. Tim Stützle was obviously taken, and I'm drawing a blank on the other winger as well. But again, Lucas Raymond, sorry, that was the other one. So I think, Stützle, Raymond, and Alexander Holtz are probably on the Sabres' radar as well. But when all three of them went, I think they decided to go with who they felt was the best winger available. And according to them, it was Jack Quinn as a right winger there. Cole Perfetti's a left wing / center, and Marco Rossi is a center. But we've seen centermen move to the wing before. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it's not uncommon for that to happen for OHL players.
Our buddy Steve Clark tweeted, like, who had Jack Quinn getting taken before Marco Rossi and Cole Perfetti?
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's insane. That is
incredible. So who's up next here?
The Minnesota,
at number 9.
The Minnesota Wild, who, again, I said the reason probably for their trade of Devin Dubnyk is probably because they felt comfortable of taking that goalie at this point in the draft. So, but I think now with what's transpired with Cole Perfetti and Marco Rossi being available, this is just screwing up their plans. And this kind of ties into you guys a little bit because they just traded Eric Stahl over to you guys. So they have, they're opening up a lot of, they're kind of in that rebuild phase as well. So to take a Rossi or Perfetti here is smart for their rebuilding. So I wouldn't doubt them either to take a Rossi, Perfetti, or the goalie. I'm leaning more towards the goalie for whatever reason. But
for you Nashville fans, I hope the goalie's left there at 11, but I don't know about that. Who's picking at number 10?
Hang on, I had the draft board up.
Because I feel like, I don't know, the goalie would be a good pick there, but we're in commercial right now for Sportsnet, guys. So
the Winnipeg Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets are at number 10, and they're talks about trading Patrick Laine, and he wants out. But since they're in commercial, let's do another plug for a commercial as well. Carmine's Pizzeria Italiano home of the best pizza and wing combos in town, especially their tray and 3-pound combo special. That's their specialty. $39 plus tax. Always good stuff there. Check out their brand new menu as well, which includes a party pack of wings and a buffalo chicken sub now added to the menu. Call today 905-374-4400 or check them out at carmine'spizzeria.ca. This month's promo code is armchair mushroom.
Ooh.
When you call for call ahead pickup or delivery, 10% off your entire order. Again, Carmine's Pizzeria Italiano, way too good. Armchair mushroom when you call for pickup or delivery, 10% off your order courtesy of the Armchair GMs. That's all you got to do. Check out the sponsorship codes. And again, guys, Minnesota's got 36 seconds left on the clock here. Don't know what they're deciding here, but guys, if you make sure you're liking us on social media, because then you'll get to see on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram us post those new sponsor promo codes each month for our local sponsors. All you got to do is when you call them up, use those sponsorship codes, and you get percentages off courtesy of the Armchair GMs.
I think they're going to take the goalie. I'm still sticking with that. I think they're taking goalie here.
It's a new era for the Minnesota Wild. Obviously, they've gotten rid of Eric Stahl, their the centerman that they traded to the Buffalo Sabres, and longtime Mr. Minnesota Wild Mikko Koivu. It's a sad day, although he's probably, it's probably the right decision to move on from him. But they're going in a different direction, Minnesota. It's about time. They're on the clock. Bill Guerin is ready to speak. Oh, he's got to thank everybody in the world first. Bill Guerin, pretty corporate of you. Marco Rossi is a Minnesota Wild.
Okay. Again, like I said goalie, but how can you not pass on one of these two studs coming to you at that point? And again, like they traded,
how can you pass on them?
They traded Eric Stahl away. They're a rebuilding team. What better way to build a center around than a guy like Marco Rossi? He's an absolute stud. Again, 120 points, 39 goals this year in 56 games. Like that's basically a point and a half game player. Like you're getting an absolute stud with Marco Rossi. He is not a flash in the pan. Me and Brandon can attest to that. We've seen this kid play. He is going to be an absolute stud for the Minnesota Wild in the future. Not NHL ready. I'd say give him a year or two. Maybe, obviously gain some size. But in a year or two, this guy is going to be an absolute stud for him or for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Minnesota Wild, they really needed to go in a different direction here, and you got to love them taking the Austrian here, Marco Rossi. This guy is an absolute beast. Obviously, he's comparable here, according to Sportsnet. Claude Giroux, first-line center, his playmaking compete level are his strengths, and his size and stamina are his rooms of improvement. But, again, line mate with Jack Quinn, who was just taken one spot ahead from the Buffalo Sabres here. So, two Ottawa 67s going back-to-back here, number 8 and number 9 here, Kyle.
I'm trying to think what Ottawa's game plan is with this next pick. I can't determine whether they take forward or they reach for a D here, or maybe they're going to trade down with this pick. But
what makes you say that?
They couldn't. If they do plan on trading Laine, they're taking Perfetti. Because they have enough guys up front that are nice and young that if you're going to draft a guy that's going to be ready in a year or two, I mean, you can, do that and wait until then to trade someone out, but I don't know. I'm looking at their prospect pool. It's not too bad. They have guys on their defense that look not like that are decent. Like they have a lot of decent defensive prospects, like Ville Heinola, Logan Stanley, Luke Green's been touted as pretty nice. Dylan Sandberg. Like, they don't have a bad defensive prospect core. Their forward prospect core is all right. Probably Christian Vasilevskiy is their top one, obviously. Other than that, they really have nothing else forward prospect-wise. So maybe they go forward here and just, kind of a restock the shelf kind of move.
Oh, man. I'm still shaking my head at Jack Quinn. I don't know what I'm feeling
clipping
about
that reaction,
right now.
man. I'm clipping that reaction. We got live, authentic
really
reaction to that.
Was there really an authentic? I don't even remember what my reaction was.
Yeah, hand on the face, the face palm move, and then the shaking of the head. The classic, what the hell did you just do?
Oh, again, I'm trying to be an optimist here, but there's only so much I can do. But
see, I can't be mad at whoever the Leafs take with my pick because we weren't meant to be there. We traded for that pick.
Oh, yeah.
So like, if
gotta thank Jim Rutherford for this pick. I hope they go up there and thank him, because I mean, he basically handed the Toronto Maple Leafs the 15th overall pick for a guy who was playing on their third line.
Yeah, I'll wait till we get closer to see who I think they should pick. In the podcast I did, the last Leafs episode, I did say either if they are available, a Braden Schneider, or I said they could probably reach for a guy like Justin Barron. Both are right-handed defensemen, which is obviously our need and key in the NHL. Right-handed D is like a hot commodity for any team. And both those guys play with size and grit. So, that's two guys that I'd go for in this draft if they are available for him with the Leafs. But we'll see what happens closer to. Again, we've seen crazier things happen in this draft so far, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's we've been on the air now for, it doesn't feel like it's that long, but it's actually been an hour and 15 minutes.
Yep, I see that here on the tube. YouTube.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully doing more of these as we go on here, trying to branch off into more video stuff. Obviously, Kyle and I both have the glorious new banners behind us of our new logo as well. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Please give us a like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and hopefully we'll be bringing more of this to the channel in the upcoming, with big things coming from the Armchair GMs. And again, it's difficult during the pandemic, but we're doing our best here and trying to do our best for our sponsors as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more like theatrics in it. I don't have any flashy graphics just yet, but we're working on it. We'll get there.
We're working on it.
We got the trade alert thing, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean,
which there hasn't been any trades. Like, I've been looking at Twitter, like nothing's been like talked about or rumored. It's a very quiet trade draft so far.
I think if the Winnipeg Jets go with the forward here, you can basically kiss Patrick Laine goodbye at this point. I mean, he had requested his trade from the Winnipeg Jets. How do you feel about that as somebody who was possibly could have had Patrick Laine in the Toronto Maple Leafs? Just what do you think of, do you think that he could still live up to the potential that everybody believes that he can be? He's
treading like flash in the pan territory. Not really, though, because he's actually put up the numbers in production. I don't know. I think it might be an attitude thing with them, because he's been scoring 30 plus goals a year. What's the problem? You know what I mean? Like,
Winnipeg's not Winnipeg. I will say about Winnipeg, it's not the most preferred destination for players because of how cold it is in Winnipeg. But again, doesn't matter how cold it is. If you're a good organization, people are going to want to play there.
Finland's cold. He comes from a cold climate, I guess, a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Jets, I mean, they have some very nice prospects. Christian Vassilainen comes to mind as well on forward. So here we go with the Winnipeg Jets. It looks like Gary Bettman's about to come up here. There he is. I'm glad he's done taking the mask off every pick. That was just getting monotonous.
That was just a flex towards the NFL.
Yeah. That was virtue signaling right there.
Yeah.
All right, here's Chevy, Kevin Cheveldayoff. Oh, that's awesome. They're inviting Dale Hawerchuk's wife to make the selection for the Winnipeg Jets. Longtime Winnipeg Jet, obviously Hall of Famer, recently passed away. It's a great tribute. Cole Perfetti is a Winnipeg Jet.
Solid pick. Pick by the Winnipeg Jets.
And he's a winger, so bye-bye Patrick Laine.
Yeah, 111 points, 61 games, almost 40 goals. He had about 37. Guy is an absolute stud for Saginaw. I remember, again, any OHL guy that's going to come up here, we're gonna attest to. Me, Brandon, just from covering the Ice Dog, we've seen a lot of them play. Cole Perfetti was a stud for Saginaw and stuck out the most to us. I liked his skating the most. He was very, very quick out there, so his speed is a big factor in him, and probably one of his great skills. So they're getting a nice speedy winger. So yeah, I mean Patrick Laine, bud. Hashtag pack your shit.
Yeah, I guess we can say that on live stream. But Cole Perfetti, he was ranked number 7 by the Hockey Writers, and he was ranked number 7 by Sportsnet, and he goes at number 10. So very nice pick here for the Winnipeg Jets, and again, a great tribute by the Jets, allowing the wife of Dale Hawerchuk to make that selection, as his heart was always in Winnipeg. So with that being said, the Nashville Predators are on the clock, and again, talking to our friends here, Trey and Ty, the Nashville boys, they have been talking to me about possibly taking this goaltender here, and how it would not shock them if they took Askarov here and kind of made that transition. We know how great they are at developing goaltenders with Pekka Rinne and Juuse Saros, but again, knowing how goaltenders take a while, he could kind of be the guy to take over after Saros is gone, because we know Rinne is going to be out the door very soon. He's getting up there, but this would be a perfect Nashville type of pick here to take a goalie here and develop him into their next franchise goaltender.
Yeah, I'm looking at their prospect pool and everything. I think the logical pick here is the goalie pick here in Yaroslav. Like you can't pass up on that, especially when you're looking at your own goalie tandem here. You don't really have any prospect goalies that are set and maybe good enough to take over a Saros or a Pekka Rinne. Pekka Rinne being 37 years old, man, he's, again, like you said, he's out the door soon. Juuse Saros, he's always going to take over the reins, but again, he's not going to last that long, and you don't really know what you have in him really as a starting goalie going forward here. Like, I think the logical pick obviously is Yaroslav, and you build him while you stick with Saros, and maybe they acquire, another goalie through free agency in the next couple of years to fill the gap. Exactly. And then when Yaroslav's ready to go, but according to Happy Bullen right now, but it's not going to happen, he'll be ready to go for Nashville, and they're going to have a stud goalie, potentially being one of the top in the league.
And again, they already have one thing with Nashville. They have cap issues, so they don't really. And again, they have a couple of really nice forward prospects in Phil Tomasino, former Niagara Ice Dog, and Oshawa General. And they have Eli Tolvanen, who is another first-round pick. So they've gone forward the last 2 years with their first-round pick. Again, late first-round picks. But here they have an opportunity with 11th overall, and you could also say that they might go D here, but is there any defensemen that are really in the vicinity right now that they could kind of reach for? Caden Gooley comes to mind, I think, for me. A guy that's projected in the mid, for, like you mentioned, Braden Schneider, who you thought was an option for the Leafs at 15. He's another guy, but are those guys a little bit too much of a reach for Nashville at number 11? I mean, realistically, if they don't want to go with a forward here and they're choosing between D and goaltender, I think where they are at with their prospect pool and their development, I think that it would be a great pick to take Askarov.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's the most logical pick at this point. And just, again, speaking of behind armchair GM side of things, we're both in agreement with picking the goalie.
It just seems like a Nashville type of pick that they would take. GM David Poyle would take a chance on a goaltender like this because they know that with how good their development team is, that they can develop a goaltender into being the next franchise guy. I'm really excited if Nashville takes this guy and where they're able to go. It's kind of like with the Sabres when they took Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the second round. Again, he was a little bit later, but he was the consensus number 1 goaltender, and people knew how great he was going to be. But he's going to be take him a while to develop. And that's what's going to happen with goaltenders. Unless you're going, like you mentioned, unless you're going top 3 overall as a goaltender, you're not going to be NHL ready. And there's a reason why these goaltenders take 3 or 4 years to develop. It's just a tough transition for goaltenders going from playing against junior players to playing professional players as a goaltender. You need to be able to develop your skills and be able to take those NHL ready shots day in and day out.
So I'm reading here. Apparently, Craig Button compared Jack Quinn to Aaron Judge and David Pasternak. What a weird combo.
I mean, I love Aaron Judge as a Yankees fan, but I don't understand how you can compare him to. I don't know. That just makes no sense. And
it looks like
Nashville's still got 30 seconds left on the clock here. They haven't made their pick.
The consensus on Twitter from the Sabres fans they're pissed you guys didn't take Rotzi over Jack Quinn.
Well, that's typical Sabres. But the pick is finally in for Nashville.
All right, here we go.
They waited a long time here, but again, they're plugging in a signing season on Friday for Sportsnet, but now they're going to Gary Bettman. Why do they have to keep going to Gary Bettman? Why can't they just go directly to the teams? Like, I'm sick of this. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's really yellow there, David Quayle. Holy man. Really
He's
sticking
repping
out
the
there.
colors.
Roman Josi, the captain of the Nashville Predators,
Wow.
is announcing the pick. And new Norris Trophy winner, Roman Josi. Looking like he should work for GQ. Yes, Askarov. Nice pick, Nashville.
Solid pick. Solid pick.
There they go with the goaltender. That is an excellent pick. I love it.
So off topic here, Rangers tweeted an hour ago, hashtag LAFRE and then NYR in capitals. Lafra NYR. That's fantastic.
So, anyways, I love that pick for Nashville. I
Yeah.
think that is an excellent pick. It just seemed like it was going to be the Nashville Predators type of guy to go ahead and take the goaltender. So, I think they did very well with that. And we got the the Florida Panthers coming up at number 12. And
God,
I don't
Florida.
I don't know what to think about the Florida Panthers. They're just a team that every year you think they're going to break through, and they always have these very solid players. You think of Barkov, Huberdeau. They traded Vincent Trocheck for whatever reason, but when you think of the Florida Panthers, you just think of a very, I guess underwhelming team as far as their expectations every year. They just seem to not reach their expectations.
So, I think they go. Oh man, it's tough. Do they go forward or D here? They're in need of both. When it comes to prospects, they're in need of both. Because last year, last year they took the goalie. They took Spencer Knight. That was last year, correct? So like this year, I think they're taking forward or goal or D. With what's available, I think you're either taking a Lundell, Dawson Mercer, Caden Gooley. He's actually been compared to a similar playing style as an Aaron Ekblad. So that's that goes hand in hand with who they have. Yeah. So yeah, I think
Anton Lundell.
Yeah, it's one of those three. I'm kind of leaning more towards Anton Lundell too. I think you take a centerman like that as your, especially because they traded, was it Trocheck this past year?
Yeah, and they haven't replaced them.
No, so I think they take centerman too. So yeah, I like that pick, Anton Lundell.
So they have two Finland centers as their number 1 and 2 with Barkov and Anton Lundell. Austin Broad, another shout out to him. He actually had the Buffalo trying to reach for Anton Lundell. He was actually very high on the Sabres, taking Lundell at number 8. So I think Lundell here is a nice pick for the Florida Panthers here. They're moving in a different direction with their front office staff, so it'll be interesting. And they're comparing Askarov to Vasilevsky.
Askarov was there in Nashville, and he's there accepting the jerseys from David Poile. Look at this picture. Oh my God! I'm seeing it on Twitter here. I didn't even know he was there. Man, they flew the guy down there.
I guess they. Wow, that's really cocky, knowing that they didn't think that anybody else would take the goaltender.
That's crazy.
Imagine if some other team would have taken him, and that would have been a pretty awkward room. That would have been awkward. That really would have been something else. They're still on the clock here. 2 minutes left for Florida. Up next, Carolina, Edmonton, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs, courtesy of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we're definitely going to be cutting the stream after Edmonton picks at 14. Would you not agree, Kyle?
Sorry, say that again. I was reading something on Twitter about.
Oh, okay. You probably don't want to hear what I said. I said we're probably going to be cutting the stream after Edmonton picks at 14.
How come?
Because there's no reason to see who picks at number 50.
Oh, sorry. Again, half brains, half there, half not. I was reading about Cole Perfetti and someone put a projected lineup if Lonnie doesn't get traded. And God, that'd be scary to look at Winnipeg if that was ever a lineup.
New general manager Bill Zito for the Florida Panthers. He's bringing in Rick Dudley and Paul Fenton, two very respected senior advisors to the general manager. So obviously they're going to have some influence on this. Rick Dudley obviously travels around and watches a lot of junior hockey. We had the pleasure of seeing him a few times this year, but just a guy that's a rink rat. Obviously, always loves watching hockey. Just one of those great guys you'd love to have in your organization. And Florida is very lucky to have a guy like Rick Dudley as part of their hockey operations team now. So Joel Quenneville, obviously in his second year as head coach with the Florida Panthers, they had a pretty disappointing playoffs, eliminated 3-1 by the New York Islanders. So I think if you're Florida here, you go with one of these remaining forwards. It's a shame that a lot of these guys aren't available anymore for them. But I think Lindell would be a very solid pick. Jack Quinn ranked 13th. I'm looking at Hockey Writers. Anyways, Lindell looks like he's again, I think they're going to go center here just because of the lack of center depth on this team and trading away Trocheck.
Just one ranking I have has him listed as 8, Anton Lindell, in this ranking. So he's projected out really high in a couple other rankings. So that's something to look at too if they take rankings into account, or if that plays into their decision making.
Florida has a couple of unrestricted free agents: Dadonov, Hoffman, and Haula. So I think they got to go with a forward here.
Yeah.
Bill Zito is ready to go. Notable 12th overall picks. They got Gary Roberts, Marian Hossa, Alex Tanguay, Mark Stahl. There you go.
Yep,
Lindell. Yep.
Smart pick.
Very good pick by the Florida Panthers at number 12.
So with this next pick, it's hilarious. This is actually the first round pick that the Carolina Hurricanes acquired for us, that we had to give them for buying out Patrick Marleau.
The Marmar line.
Yeah. So for them to have, because they didn't have a first round pick, they acquired it from us at the beginning of last year.
Who's us, Kyle? You gotta be specific.
The Toronto Maple Leafs, clearly in my background.
I thought maybe us meant the Seattle Kraken, since
yeah.
you're converting from a Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'm not converting.
They finally broken you enough to have a second team.
Listen.
Tisk.
If you can have two banners back there, I can have two banners
I don't
back
have
there.
Banners. I only see a Buffalo banner.
Wow. Okay.
Or maybe I only see a San Jose banner. I don't know. Buffalo just. Anyways.
Hey,
but
listen to this. Quinn Hughes, solid defenseman. Jack Hughes, solid forward. Take the two first names, put them together.
Jack Quinn, oh yeah, so he's a hybrid. So he's a center mid in soccer. Great. Carolina Panthers are on the clock here, Kyle. Let's shift gears here to Carolina. They're an interesting team as well. Obviously, they had a pretty deep playoff run. Then head coach Rod Brindamore. I don't know. I feel like their DECOR is pretty stacked at this point. I could see them taking a forward if I were them.
Well, look at their forward prospect shelf. They got a guy like Ryan Suzuki, who's probably their best forward prospect. After that, not really much else. Maybe Morgan Geekie. He really had a pretty good showing. And nothing really else after that. As for defensemen, they even have solid defensive prospects who haven't really made an impact yet. Like Jake Bean, obviously, is one of them. And obviously goalie prospect. Well, they're not going to pick a goalie. There's no goalies available right now in the first. I think they go forward here. I think they pick best forward available, and they're going to pick Dawson Mercer, the Canadian kid, awesome, who had a really good junior gold medal. A very good junior Team Canada. Yeah, they won the gold medal. What am I talking about? Gold medal run, right? I'm not wrong, right? They won the gold medal. I'm not losing it here. Team Canada, the juniors, right?
Yes.
Okay. But, Dawson Mercer, I think they go him. Solid forward, played in the QMJHL, had 60 points in 42 games. Just someone to add to their core, right? They're not looking for people right now. They're just looking to fill their shelf for the future. Because right now their team, I think their team is structurally built pretty good. Like they gave the Bruins a run for their money a little bit in this year's playoffs. So I think they're just a couple of tweaks away from being a really good cup contender. So I think that this pick is just to fill a prospect shelf. They can go Mercer or Gooley here, to be real. One or the other. It's going to be one of those two.
Mercer or Gooley, huh?
Yeah. unless there's a reach and it's for a specific reason, like a scout sees something that, that fits their style, maybe reaching down. We haven't seen a trade yet. There hasn't been any trade downs. Usually that happens. You usually see a lot of trade downs from like the 15th pick down in the NHL draft in the first round. You see the most trade downs if there ever is one, or trade down to the second round. So we'll see what happens. But so far I'm keeping up with Twitter here, and I haven't seen any chatter about any trades happening. So I think we're not getting that yet.
Sorry, I'm just trying to look on our social media, see how things are going over there. But I think this would be a good time, since we're in commercial here, to give another shout out here to one of our sponsors. Custom PPE is the #1 source for custom printed face masks. Checked out their personalized logo face masks, now with all adjustable ear loops and full color printing. Several colors and styles to choose from, printed from right here in Canada and in the Niagara region, and delivered in 1 week. Very low minimums, great pricing, and quick turnaround. CustomPPE.ca is Canada's largest custom face mask provider, serving schools, teams, and businesses all over the country. Call 1-855-55-CUSTOM or visit them at CustomPPE.ca for instant pricing and to build your mask. And use the code ARMCHAIR at checkout. Once again, 20% off your entire order from CustomPPE.ca. 20% off by using the code ARMCHAIR at checkout. Get 20% off your entire order. Great stuff from Custom PPE. Our masks should be coming in sometime this week, so we'll be able to show those off for you guys as well.
All right.
So again, check them out, CustomPPE.ca. Great stuff if you're looking for masks and custom face masks for your business. Who doesn't want that? But with that being said, Kyle, we got Sportsnet back up here, but still doesn't really they're not really ready to go with the pick here for Carolina. They're still on the clock with 30 seconds left, but should be interesting. According to the best available is Sam Cosentino on Sportsnet. Dawson Mercer's #1, Caden Gooley #2, Seth Jarvis #3, Connor Zary #4, and Braden Schneider #5. So
I think they take I think they're taking one of the two, either a Gooley or a Mercer, 100%. I'm leaning more towards Mercer. D, again, like we said, they're stacked on D right now. They're not looking to have a D-man come in the next year or two. They go forward here for sure.
Carolina, it didn't say that they were on the clock. It said that their clock had expired, but now apparently they're on the clock. Don Wandell is ready to speak. Seth Jarvis is a Carolina Hurricane.
Interesting. Okay. So
98 points this year for Portland Winterhawks.
Yeah, centerman, 98 points. I had him ranked at 18, the one ranking I have here. Then he's got 15 on this one and 17 on this one. Yeah, he's in between 15 and 18 in all my rankings here. So that's an interesting pick there. They must see something in him.
15 and 17 for me. So. Yeah. Interesting for the Carolina Hurricanes. The
Carolina Panthers.
Still in a football mode right now, but the Carolina Hurricanes getting a nice player here, Seth Jarvis, to add to their crop of prospects. Doesn't look like a guy that's going to be an NHL-ready player coming up, so they got a few years with this guy, but definitely looks like a type of guy that Rod Brendamore is going to like coaching. Finished second in the WHL in scoring last year, so 98 points for Seth Jarvis. So a nice pick there for not the Panthers, the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
moving to number 14.
Not
and I know
the Panthers.
Everybody loves to talk about the Edmonton Oilers when it comes to the NHL draft. Everybody's favorite when it comes to talking about drafts and the Edmonton Oilers. And talking about them, we have to send our best wishes to Connor McDavid, who was recently diagnosed with COVID-19. So all the best to Connor McDavid and his recovery. But with that being said, the Edmonton Oilers, we say it every year. What else do they need? How many more top echelon draft picks do they need before they finally turn this thing around?
Caden Gooley is who they're taking. You don't take anybody else but Caden Gooley. You don't need another forward. You need to start building your back end more. Take Caden Gooley. Caden Gooley is going to be a guy that's going to help build their back end even more. Man, you don't pass up on a guy like that at that point.
Yeah, I'm looking at their prospect pool, and as far as defensemen go, Philip Broberg they took in the first round last year. That was
Ethan Barrett's even on the team right now, as considered, I'd say, prospect level ish.
Evan Bouchard is also there, so
Yeah.
it might not be a slam dunk. Although, I mean,
Yeah.
just how many more forwards are the Oilers going to have to take in the first round that
Yeah.
were
Like forward wise, they got Tyler Benson, Raphael Lavoie, Cooper Marody. I've heard some good things about Ryan McLeod, Kirill Maximov, former Ice Dog.
I mean, Kaylor Yamamoto is still considered a prospect. He's up with the team right now. Joachim Nygaard was a 27-year-old rookie this year. So again, like, who's going to be finally the guy that's going to help secure this Oilers team? We saw, I mean, Jesse Puljujarvi said that he will not return until he is dealt from the Edmonton Oilers. So
They might stick Canadian here. They might stick with Dawson Mercer. I could see them taking a Dawson Mercer.
That would probably be a solid pick for them. Although, again, is he a center? Is he a winger? Who knows? But I'm sure, they could move him over.
Well, if you could play both, that's perfect.
According to Sportsnet, he proved his draft -1 season with no fluke by carving his own path to the World Junior Championship, becoming one of the most coveted players at January's QMJHL trade deadline. So Dawson Mercer, like you mentioned, might be a solid pick. And, Dawson Mercer, speaking of him, you picked him in a recent GM mode that you did with the Seattle Kraken, Kyle.
He turned out good.
Plug what you're doing over there on the NHL franchise mode, a part of the YouTube channel.
Well, I'm going to continue with NHL 21 when it comes out because they just released the features for the GM or franchise mode for next year's game, and it looks freaking sweet with the trade deadline day feature they've added to it, and like they've actually finally added positional. You can add you can make a player a center left wing or a center right wing now. They've added that into the game, so I love that feature of it. But I've been doing. I did a big series with the Seattle Kraken. Now I'm doing like a Canadian circuit series, like a cup or bust. I take a team, I build them with some pretty unrealistic trades and try to go for a cup in 1 year and see if I cup or bust. And it's been pretty fun so far. So check that out. That's live on the channel too, guys. So again, bringing more content to the sports network as the time goes by.
Yeah, trying to do more YouTube stuff as well, like we mentioned. But Kyle was very successful with the Seattle Kraken franchise mode. So getting you guys set for the expansion draft next year with the Seattle Kraken, as they'll be coming in and taking over as Kyle's favorite team since the Toronto Maple Leafs have just broken him completely. He's decided to become a Seattle Kraken fan live on the air.
He's not. That's false information. Fake
they,
news.
Are they not going to be your second favorite team?
They'll be. Oh well, I mean, you got a second favorite team.
I didn't jump a bandwagon though.
I'm not jumping a bandwagon. You can't jump a bandwagon if we don't even know what they're about. They don't even have a roster yet.
So we're looking at Edmonton's last 5 first-round picks, mostly forwards here, except for Philip Broberg last year. So they've got prospects of both ends in the system because the Oilers always have prospects and they just never seem to put it together. But so you're a betting man here. Oilers pick is finally in with 27 seconds left on the clock.
Dawson Mercer, especially to replace their one bust of a pick with Jesse Puljujarvi.
I think if you're the Leafs, you're hoping that Dawson Mercer, Caden Gooley's available.
God, maybe.
Or as you mentioned on the Niagara Hockey Lowdown Leafs edition, Braden Schneider.
I wouldn't put him past to take a Braden Schneider. Caden Gooley would be a solid pick though. If he fell to us, I wouldn't be opposed. Either Gooley or Schneider, but we'll see with this pick.
Okay. There he is, Kenny Holland.
Jesus.
Look at him. Dylan Holloway.
Who? Oh, okay, there he is. He's ranked 16 in this one ranking I have. Wisconsin NCAA talent he played for. What do they see in this guy?
Holloway hasn't even seen it yet. They're showing his reaction. They're probably behind.
What if this is, you know what I see this as Oilers fans looking like right now? That one Habs fan that one draft, that was like the one girl with the glasses who was like, like Dylan Holloway? Who?
So again, he plays in the Big Ten for Wisconsin at 17 points in 35 games for them. Obviously, Ken Holland likes looking at those European players and those U.S. Development players, so that's typical for him. That's par for the course for him with his drafting in Detroit. But again, Dylan Holloway, 6 feet, 203 pounds. I don't know. Where was he ranked on your list?
17.
He's ranked 20 on Sportsnet, and Hockey Writers, they have him ranked at 15. So he goes at number 14 to the Edmonton Oilers. And with that being said, let's transition, Kyle, to what everybody wants to talk about here.
Yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs are on the clock, and that's going to wrap it up today, folks.
No, it's not. We're still live on the air.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
We're not going anywhere. We are staying here, and I'm tweeting out right now in big capital letters, take Gooley or Schneider. I'm putting all caps on all of it.
Hey, all caps. Isn't that the Washington Capitals trademark?
I have no
hashtag?
idea. Not ever sue me.
They should.
Yeah, they can't sue me up here. We have a better legal system.
But Kyle, we've heard you on the Niagara Hockey Lowdown Leafs edition. Dylan Holloway still hasn't seen that he's been picked. This is kind of awkward, or unless he did and he's not very pleased about going to Edmonton. But with that being said, you had mentioned that you would like the pick of
Schneider more because he's right-handed. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Gooley's right-handed. I'm gonna pull him up here. No, Gooley's left-handed, so I like Schneider over him, obviously because of the right and left-hand thing. I wouldn't be opposed. I would not be pissed if they took a Gooley though. He seems like a really big stud. 40 points in 64 games for a defenseman is pretty good as well, I'm not going to lie. And Schneider, 42 points in 60 games as a defenseman. Both big guys, 6'2". Schneider, 202, and Gooley a little bit lighter, 186 pounds. But, man, I think both of those guys are prime. We need another defensive prospect in our pool. We're not looking to build in our top six. Our top six is fine right now. Like, we're not looking for another forward. But I will say this, because Mercer is still available, I'm not going to sit here and be pissed if they took a Dawson Mercer here. I'm not going to. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad.
Especially if a forward would be on the way out for the Leafs in the next year or two.
Yeah. So a Mercer, Gooley, or Schneider, I'm happy. If not, well, you'll get my live reaction as to who they pick.
Yeah, and I won't be here for it.
Well, you'll have to turn the volume up for me because I have like a 15-second delay. So when the pick's in, can you do me the fave and turn the volume up?
You want to hear it?
Yeah, because I'm 50 seconds behind because of stupid YouTube.
I mean, I don't even want to be here for this pick.
Nah, you can laugh at my reaction if they don't take who I want to take.
Okay, well, the Leafs War Room, which is the Leafs locker room, apparently. They got the desks in the Leafs locker room.
Yep. I remember seeing that tweet today.
Wow, that's real original, Leafs. Great job. I'm rolling my eyes on the live stream.
Wow.
For you people listening, I don't know. But again, Toronto Maple Leafs on the clock, and it's a good time for us to wrap up the show. But unfortunately, I'm not doing. I don't have control today, so that's in Kyle's hands. Unfortunately, if it was up to me, I'd just leave right now. But the Toronto Maple Leafs are on the clock. What do you think of the big re-sign of Jason Spezza for 1 year, $700K?
Good. I love, and Spezza, you saw his reaction was he wanted to stay and play another year with the Leafs, and he's adamant about wanting to win here. He says the fire. He quote him saying the fire is still there, and that fires me up that he wants to stay here and win again. Yeah. Man, that guy.
Guess what?
Hilariously, you're gonna laugh at this. He was the best. He was the best looking player on the ice out of everybody in that playoff series against Columbus.
You talk about fire, but it's ironic that the Leafs color is blue, the same color as water, when that fire is going to be put out.
Oh, my God. Can you not? You're asking me my general consensus here. I don't expect her back. Do I have to bring up Jack Quinn's name?
No, you don't. Because Jack Quinn, the Jack and Jack connection, Jack Eichel, Jack Quinn, I'm liking it already.
Yeah. a lot of just random people, a lot of Leaf fans in my timeline here just saying, just do something cool.
And you know what? I mean, they could screw over the Montreal Canadiens, their bitter rival, who are picking directly after them. So maybe maybe before they made that trade with Pittsburgh, they gave Mark Bergevin a call and said, "Hey, who are you looking at with the 16th overall pick? Oh, we're looking at this guy. Okay, we're gonna go and trade up for 15 then, right in front of you." You never know. Oh. But the Leafs, they still haven't made the pick yet.
I know.
The clock has hit 0, and now it says pick is in.
All right, so turn it up for me.
Okay. Mitch Marner's ready to go, selecting the pick with Morgan Riley in the background.
2020 NHL draft. We are proud. Toronto Maple Leafs are proud to select from UFA of the KHL,
Rudion
Rodion Amirov.
Amirov.
Who? What? What the hell? Wow, that's weird.
Number 19 on
What?
Sportsnet. And number... Where is he ranked on... He's actually ranked number 12 on the Hockey Writers. From the KHL. Rodion Amirov. He had 2 points in 21 games last year.
Oh my god.
Number
Why
5
did he take a
ranked
D?
skater. Number five ranked skater by
Oh
Central
my
Scouting.
God.
I can't wait for the next Niagara Hockey Lowdown Leafs edition. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Oh, I have no idea who this guy is. I didn't even look him up. I didn't do any, like... What?
His puck skills suggest an easy top 6 outcome in his prime, according to McKeensHockey.com. Led the 2019 U18 World Championship.
We have like
with
an obsession with getting Russian people, like European players. Like we just had Ilya Mikheyev come over. We have like the next guy, I forget, Korshkov, that's coming over this year. Like, what do we do? We're just stealing. We're just scooping up all the Russian like top guys from over there.
I mean, they got rid of Kasperi Kapanen, so they had to replace him.
Oh.
According to Sportsnet, sleight of frame with high-end skill will need to clean up inconsistent play and add bulk and strength to the frame. Oh, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs need is another guy with skill, not and without bulk and strength, and inconsistent
Murphy.
play.
What the hell? I don't
Kyle.
understand that pick.
Now, Kyle, for the sake of the live stream, I'm actually. We should have ended it at that point, you know. Maybe you
Both
would have
our
been a little bit
teams
happier.
have taken players that we were expecting to take. Done. Why?
Now Marc Bergevin he's up at the podium, already ready to go with this pick, but he's not like Bettman's not ready yet because they're talking to Cole Perfetti from the Winnipeg Jets. Like Marc Bergevin is ready to go. He's waiting at his little podium he's got. He's got his, shirt undone, obviously, showing off, that he's the most in shape general manager in the league, I guess, if he's going off of that. Martin Lapointe is the director of player personnel for the Habs. No idea. And assistant GM Scott Mellenby.
Scott Mellenby.
Nice former NHL front office there for the Canadians. Interesting.
Like, I'm seeing a lot of people touting like good things about this guy. Like but I'm sitting there going like, why? Why?
It's interesting.
Why? Oh my God! Mitch Marner's like picture in this that someone screenshotted is priceless.
Oh, hang on. Say it right. Mitch Marnie.
Mitch Marnie.
Last time the Habs picked 16th overall, fun fact, Marcel Hossa in 2000.
No, he was really quick to get to that podium. Oh my God.
He's ready to go.
Like, we know who we're taking. Switch it. Like, put me on, coach.
Oh, he is ready, Marc Bergevin. He's ready to get out of there. So they're still talking. Marc Bergevin has been standing at the podium for probably 3 to 4 minutes at this moment, waiting for the cue from Commissioner Gary Bettman, but they have to talk about the pick first for the Leafs. So Bergevin's got to wait for the Leafs to be discussed. That's got to be interesting. So, Kyle, I can't see your reaction, but are you...
I'm trying to find more information about this guy. I'm just going to have to do it later. I would have taken a D, man. I don't know. There's obviously some method to their madness. Caden
Gooley was available.
Again, this probably goes to what you were saying before we made the pick. Maybe they know that, they need to find somebody for maybe a winger that's on his way out in the next couple of years, and they have the next one to replace him. I don't understand their fascination with their European players lately.
As for the Habs, they went with Cockton, Niemi, and Caulfield the last 2 years, so 2 forwards there. Did they go with Caden Gooley? Or Braden Schneider?
I'd hope so. Then they go with a defenseman, man. I think they seem to at least pass up on those 2D. They're like, hey, Bergevin's like up to the podium. All right, I know I'm picking.
Yeah, the pick is in. Yeah, thanks, Sportsnet. The pick's been in for 5 minutes.
Pick was in when he was at the podium in the first shot.
Notable 16th overall picks: Dave Anderchuk, Marcus Naslin, Vladdy Tarasenko, and Matt Barzal. Well, here comes another one to the Habs. Mark Bergevin finally ready to go. He looks pretty upset about this.
He's always looking upset.
Caden Gooley is a Montreal Canadian. As much as we don't like the Montreal Canadiens, Kyle, you got to admit that's a fantastic
If this guy ends up being like really good, I'm going to be really pissed.
Because he's going to be with the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah. Then, the Leafs took a flyer on, a risky forward there. Kyle, come on, let's hear your reaction about Amarov and then Caden Gooley.
I don't know what to say about. I don't know what to say about Amarov because I don't know anything about him. So like I have to wait to research the guy. But like I'm pissed that they didn't take Gooley or Schneider.
Don't the Leafs need prospect D?
If Sandy's gonna make the team, who do we have left?
Oh, they're gonna sign Alex Pietrangelo to save all the fix all their problems.
I hope. Just trade for a defenseman now. Like, now you have to trade for a defenseman. You know what I mean? Like, you better have a defenseman trade lined up now if you take. You've
got Martin Marincin ready to go for the next 15 years. He's gonna keep signing 1 year. He's gonna keep signing 1 year deals for the Leafs. Caden Gooley, though, 40 points in 64 games for Prince Albert and WHL. Very solid defenseman. Really looking at this guy. Obviously, he's the brother of Brendan Gooley, who was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres and now is on the Anaheim Ducks. He's a comparable to Colton Parayko, potential top 4 NHL defenseman. Looks like a very solid guy. Skating and first pass is his strengths, and offensive game is his room to improve. So, a defensive and a two-way D, something that the Leafs obviously don't need.
Yeah. Definitely something we don't need.
The Chicago Blackhawks are now on the clock, and the Blackhawks, I feel like they overachieved this year. Obviously, I mean, they made the playoffs because 24 teams made the playoffs, but they took down the Edmonton Oilers in round 1, Kyle. I think that was very successful for the Chicago Blackhawks. They're kind of trying to rebuild on the fly here, trying to milk the last couple of great years of Kane and Taves left, and they've done a good job of acquiring some very nice young players here. Obviously, they got Alex DeBrincat, Alex Nylander, Dylan Strome. Sorry, they don't need restricted free agent.
They don't need another forward prospect. They're taking D here, and they're going to take Braden Schneider. Guarantee they're taking Braden Schneider, or they're going to reach for a Justin Barron, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, they have Boquist, who's a very nice player, but I mean, Duncan Keith is getting old. Calvin DeHaan, you know what you're going to not get out of him. Connor Murphy. You look at the rest of their defensive prospect pool here. I mean, what are you really looking at here?
Nicholas Bodine, maybe, and that's about it.
I mean, realistically, Adam Boquist is their guy, but you could definitely use another guy like Braden Schneider would be a very solid pick here for the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't see them going forward here. Obviously, Kirby Dach is another guy, another stud forward that they have. So I think if you're the Blackhawks here, you take a defenseman here.
Yeah, they're taking either Schneider or Barron. Guarantee. Mark my words. Guarantee? That's a guarantee. Because
I mean, you've been talking a lot about, the Leafs guaranteeing that they took a defenseman. But, again, shout outs to our buddy Blake Moore, who's listening to the live chat here. He's a Chicago Blackhawks fan. He's very interested in what you're talking about with this Braden Schneider. What intrigued you about him as a prospect for the Leafs? Why did you like Braden Schneider so much, and maybe what the Blackhawks could expect from him?
Look, you're getting an absolute stud in Braden Schneider. You're getting a guy, obviously right shot defenseman is the biggest thing because, again, like I said before, right shot defensemen are a hot commodity in the NHL. They are always number one on people's list to getting for defense. But not only that, you're getting a guy who's already 6'2", 202 pounds at his age. He plays a really solid game. I watched highlight tapes on him because I thought the Leafs were going to take him. He's already got the hockey sense, like ready to go for the NHL. I say maybe he's got to improve on, I don't know, a couple of things to his game. But he's been touted as fiercely competitive. He plays an in-your-face player with take-no-prisoners approach to his game. He's a player opponents will have no joy in facing, and he's progressed significantly over the last 3 seasons in all areas of his game. He's also comparable to a Jakob Trouba, and he's projected to be a number 3 or number 4 competitive right defenseman on your team. So you're getting an absolute stud. He's not going to be your number 1 defenseman of the future, but he is going to be a big contributing factor to your DECOR. So you're getting an awesome kid with Braden Schneider here.
Yeah, so a guy that would have been great in the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, I would think.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he? To make things worse, New Jersey picks next. So let's add to the negativity here.
Yeah.
They need another pick.
Blackhawks taking forever. Well, actually, they're not, because Stan Bowman is ready to go at the podium, and we're still talking to Kyle Dubas, trying to sell the Leaf fans on the pick of Rodion Amirov.
Yeah, is he gonna stop liking random fans' tweets today? Like he answered a random fan's tweet today, like some rando's fan's tweet. He just liked it. The guy, I want to pull it up here. He the Twitter account Active Stick. I love this guy at the Oak Leafs. He puts, I can see the Leafs swapping their pick for a different pick, or staying where they are in the draft, or trading the pick altogether for an existing player. And then Kyle Dubas tweets back, I could see that.
He's just trolling everybody. This is fantastic. Stan Bowman is ready to go.
All right, here we go.
Looks like he has somebody with him to make the selection. Sorry for the delay here, folks. Stan Bowman is just announcing who will be making the selection here. Special guest here, recipient of grant of some sort.
Who?
Oh, put the jersey down. Lucas Reichel.
Oh, I've seen him in one of my rankings here. Lucas
Reichel, left wing from Germany, 24 points in 42 games, 6 foot 170.
Okay, so they didn't go D.
Lucas Reichel, he was ranked 23 on Sportsnet, and he was ranked number
20 on Bob McKenzie's.
I'm trying to look for him. It's I don't find him anywhere.
Okay, so interesting pick there. Left wing, played in a professional league. So I guess to the Blackhawks fans listening, he played in a men's ready professional league, which is always a bonus when you're drafting from over there. Obviously, the key part is the transition from North American ice, or from European ice to North American ice, is always the biggest thing when you're drafting a player from overseas. So you're taking a small gamble with that, but doesn't look like a bad player necessarily.
Says mid 6 forward, comparable to Mike Hoffman.
Yeah, I got a comparable to Andre Palat. Top 6 two-way winger, ready to go. Skilled, smart winger who can skate and make plays in the offensive zone. He can create opportunities with his quickness, and equally good at making passing for a goal. So he's a quick playmaker. So you're getting, to you Blackhawk fans out here, you're getting a quick playmaker. A player in a winger there with this pick, so not a bad pick at all. I don't necessarily hate that pick.
I mean, I think the Blackhawks really needed a defenseman, in my opinion. I would have gone with that Toronto Maple Leafs hopeful there. Well, Kyle, can you say his name again one more time?
Braden Schneider.
Yeah, him. So he was Lucas Reichel. I almost call him Lucas Raymond. Was ranked number 29 on the HockeyWriters.com list. But again, he is projected as a first-round pick. But if for the Blackhawks, I think you've taken enough. You have enough forward prospects. I don't really understand why they would go with another one here. I mean, unless they don't think that they're going to re-sign Dylan Strome, and then they're going to have a hole at some point where his spot would be.
I mean, Sod, Cade, and Taze aren't going to be here forever, so maybe they're thinking long term because their $10 million contracts are up in a couple of years. So
I don't know. I feel like if you're the Blackhawks, though, with they're kind of lacking in the defensive department with what they got coming up through the ranks here. I mean, Adam Boquist is a beast, but I mean, you need more than that. So I probably would have went with Kyle. Say his name one more time.
Braden Schneider. But if the name Lucas Reichel sounds familiar, it's because yes, he is in the bloodline of the former Leaf great Robert Reichel. And
former Calgary Flame.
Former Calgary Flame. He is the nephew of Robert Reichel. So there you go. Hockey is in his blood.
Gotta love these former Leafs getting taken.
Former Leafs.
Sorry. Bloodlines of former Leafs. We got them everywhere.
So anyways, next pick. Who's up on the docket here? Oh yeah, New Jersey Devils. Who cares? They already made their pick. They don't need this next pick. They can trade.
I have something better we can talk about.
Okay.
Than the New Jersey Devils.
That?
Since we're in commercial break, I think that'd be J&O Flooring. Niagara-based specialty flooring and design company. Simplified processes and making homes beautiful are their specialty. Again, their October special is vinyl plank flooring at spectacular pricing. Plus, receive a free cleaning kit. Again, $69.99 retail value. You get that absolutely free when you order your vinyl plank flooring. Again, the October special. Some restrictions do apply, though. But give them a call, 905-358-3299 and jnoflooring.com to start today. Shout out to Jack. He's a big Buffalo Sabres fan, so I want to know what his thoughts are on taking Jack Quinn. But with that being said, J&O Flooring, make sure you're checking them out if you live in the Falls area needing some flooring. Another great sponsor of the Armchair GM Sports Network. So with that, Kyle, New Jersey has a minute left on the clock. They're talking to Marc Bergevin right now for the Montreal Canadiens.
They took forward with their picks, though. My assumption again, Braden Schneider's getting passed up here, and I'm not sure why. So I'd hope they're either taking D or maybe they see something in the next couple of picks here in Jacob Perreault, Connor Zary. I've heard a lot of good things about Connor Zary. I've not heard anything about the John Jason Paterka. That's an interesting name.
That's a nice name.
Yeah, hyphenated John Jason. I've never seen that.
Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah. Comparables.
Tom Fitzgerald is ready to go at the mic, but instead they decide to give us Marc Bergevin.
Oh yeah, great. Let's listen to what he has to say. Okay.
Hey, just because he
Can we
took
do another
the player
sponsor
that you
plug
wanted,
you now while he's talking?
No, because the pick is in for New Jersey.
Okay.
They're giving Marc Bergevin heck on the Sportsnet feed. They said it looks like he's wearing shoulder pads underneath his dress shirt.
He does. In all honesty, he does.
Tom Fitzgerald back up doing his best Darren Pang impersonation. Dawson Mercer is a New Jersey.
I totally forgot about him. I forgot he
was still on the board.
Number 13 on the one board I have up here.
17 to New Jersey. Dawson Mercer, solid pick. Again, like New Jersey, they just keep stockpiling these forwards. I mean, they have so many forward prospects.
I guess defense doesn't matter to them.
I guess not. Well, Lindy Ruff's their head coach now, so I don't
look
know
at their success. No wonder defense doesn't matter to them. Oh, yeah, I went
wow,
there.
Hey, you got to be objective on this show, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Jack Hughes, Mike McLeod, some solid guys there. Nico Hischier, like you had mentioned earlier. Jesper Boquist, another forward. Looking at who was the other forward? Pavel Zacha, another high draft pick that they had. Nolan Foote is another winger. So they have Nathan Bastian, another teammate of Michael McLeod. So they have a ton of forward prospects already in the New Jersey system. So they take another one here in Dawson Mercer.
I like the pick, even though I have my thoughts about the New Jersey Devils. I like the pick. Hopefully they use him properly, or you trade him to a team where he can be used properly. Because do not ruin a guy like like Dawson Mercer. He is an absolute stud. You cannot ruin a kid like this. He is so good, and from watching him in the World Juniors, I really hope he does develop into a great player because I think he could be a really great Canadian player.
If you're the New Jersey Devils, though, I think just like the Blackhawks, you kind of needed defense, and they passed up on, say his name.
That guy.
Braden Schneider.
BS.
He should have been Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maybe it was a good thing. His initials were BS, so.
So, yeah, Dawson Mercer going at number 17 to the New Jersey Devils. So, the Devils, they come away with Dawson Mercer, and who was their first pick? It was I'm trying to remember.
I
didn't write.
I don't care.
I didn't write the teams down. I wrote the draft picks down, but I didn't write the teams.
I have them here. Don't you worry. They chose. Come on. They chose Alexander Holtz.
Okay, so they come away with Alexander Holtz and Dawson Mercer, two very nice wingers there for the New Jersey Devils. But again, they take two forwards when they probably could have taken some D.
We got to talk about this next team, though, Calgary. I'm a mixed bag of who they're going to take here.
Calgary Flames, former one of Robert Reichel's former teams. So what are we looking at with the Calgary Flames?
They have a pretty decent prospect pool. I'm loving their forward prospect pool. Their D is not too bad either. I believe they have two of their top prospects on their main roster now. In Huso Valimaki and Oliver Shillington. It looks like it's spelled Kylington. I found out it's not Kylington, it's Shillington. The K, for whatever reason, is pronounced like a SH. So take that as you will. But those two are and Noah Hannafin, I guess you can say, Rasmus Anderson. So they have a lot of... I'd compare them to like a Carolina Hurricanes. You know what I mean? Like they're young and stacked already. So I don't know where they're going to go with this next pick. So I'd probably, if they want a D, it would be a Braden Schneider. If they're going to pick a forward, I'd say it'd probably going to be, I'd go with a Connor Zary, guy from the West, WHL, Cam Loops.
Like a good Jake Neighbors, State Farm is there.
Yeah.
Number 26.
A nice Saskatoon kid, Connor Zary. He's shown a lot of promise. He was actually ranked number 12 in the North American mid rankings and 17 in the TSN rankings midway through the season. So I've heard a lot about him just from reading a lot of draft rankings and reading a lot of draft guides leading up to this draft. So I wouldn't put it past him to take a Schneider or a Connor Zary, so I'm going with one of those two picks for their pick.
Connor Zary is the best available according to Sportsnet. He was ranked 16. Then Braden Schneider was ranked number 17. Henrik Lapierre is also from.
Oh yeah, that's right.
UMJHL.
He got passed over too. He was ranked 15 on Bob McKenzie's list and 12 on this other one I have here.
18 on Sportsnet. So yeah, a guy that's. Well, we're at 19, so he hasn't dropped completely. But Brian Burke talking about his former team, the Calgary Flames.
I guess is what they're going to be needing, right? You can go for center with Lapierre, you're going D with Schneider, and you're going another center with Connor Zary. So you're going with a centerman or a defenseman here, which they could easily go for both. It makes sense going for both positions coming from Calgary's perspective.
Yeah, they went center, left wing, left D, left wing in the last 5 first rounds. So Peltier and Valimaki, the last two there, they didn't have a 2018 first rounder.
Both those guys are studs, man. Those guys are going to be so good. Especially I seen tape on Valimaki. Man, he looks good. He could be probably one of their top defensemen in the future. He looks really good.
Calgary has 20 seconds left for their pick here and have not yet selected.
Interesting.
Guys, check us out, armchairgmsports.com, our beautiful website. All of our podcast articles, contributors, and sponsors are on there. Guys, armchairgmsports.com to keep up to date with our network. And again, social media posts as well are going to be on there. So here's Gary Bettman. We have a trade to announce.
Oh! Let me play it.
We have a trade to announce. And for those of you in the building, you'll be particularly interested.
So what do we got there? Did he announce it?
19th to the Rangers for 22 and 72.
Oh. So Rangers
So the
are on the clock.
Rangers. Yep, Rangers moving up from 22 to 19 and giving Calgary the 72nd overall
So
pick.
who do they want? That's what I'm trying to think here.
Jeff Gorton's ready to go. Oh, maybe he's not ready to go. It looked like he was ready to talk. Lapierre's got his jersey in the background. He's the only guy that actually had his own jersey in his backdrop. I don't know if those are his sisters or his girlfriends. I don't know. But, yeah, we'll save that for the after hours. But, regardless, they're looking at Lapierre. Looks like he's ready to.
I think they're going to take Lapierre.
He's fired up. I mean, his whole family's sitting there. So Jeff Gorton's waiting. I don't know what's going on. This is really awkward.
It would make sense for them to take a Lapierre here. You know what I mean? You're taking the wing prospect, the future in Lafreniere, and then you're going to take Lapierre.
Oh, yeah. Lapierre.
The French
and
connection,
Lafreniere.
man. They're going to build a French connection line.
Yeah, they're going to copy the Sabres. Why? But hopefully he's not like Max Lapierre. Let's just say that. We are waiting here for the Rangers. They're still on the clock here. 3 minutes. Oh, great. So they're going to interview somebody. So we got to wait. So Jeff Gorton's got to wait here.
Oh.
As they're going to interview. Who are they interviewing now? Caden Gooley for the Montreal Canadiens.
Who care? I mean, nice. Good for them.
Yeah. With that being said, let's give another shout out to Carmine's Pizzeria Italiano, home of the best tray and wing combo in town. Check out their new menu, which includes a new party pack of chicken wings and a buffalo chicken sub. Call today, 905-374-4400, or check them out at carmine'spizzeria.ca. And again, use this month's promo code Armchair Mushroom when you call. You get 10% off your entire order when you call for pickup or delivery. 10% off your order just for saying this month's promo code Armchair Mushroom at Carmine's Pizzeria Italiano, home of the best pizza and wing tray combo in town in Niagara Falls. Carmine's Pizzeria Italiano, way too good. Armchair Mushroom, 10% off, courtesy of the Armchair GMs Sports Network. The Rangers still on the clock here. 2 minutes left as they are waiting for this Caden Gooley Montreal Canadiens interview to end.
God, who cares? Be quiet. Let him make the pick. He just traded for the pick. We don't care, Caden Gooley.
The Rangers have taken 3 straight wingers with their first round picks. Lafreniere, obviously, Capo Caco, and Vitaly Kravtsov. The last defenseman they took in 2018, Keandre Miller. And then, like you mentioned, they had 3 first-round picks that year. So they took Kravtsov, Keandre Miller, and Niels Lundqvist. So they took 2 defensemen and a... So realistically, you'd think that they haven't taken a center in a long time. You'd think that they would go center here. So what are you thinking for the Rangers as they move up and take Calgary's pick?
I think they're taking Hendricks Lapierre, 100%. You got
Yeah,
the French connection
center.
line, man. Just makes it just the storyline's there with the 2 Frenchies. They'll pick a center and a left winger, and they'll just need to find another or draft another French one in this draft.
He was ranked 14 on the Hockey Writers, and he was ranked. They're finally up Jeff Gordon. He's ranked 18 on Sportsnet. Jeff Gordon looks like he's pretty irritated. He's ready to go. Here he is. Braden Schneider is a New York Ranger.
Oh, of course. Can't wait to talk to my dad about that.
Yeah, your dad's a New York Rangers fan. So taking Braden Schneider, the guy that Toronto Maple Leafs wanted, they jump up and take him at number 18.
I can't say I blame them. That's a solid pick there. They got a solid defenseman prospect now, man. Like you think about the Rangers too. Like they didn't really have D prospects besides Adam Fox, who's not really a prospect anymore. He's kind of blossomed as one of their like top 4 guys now, right? So they kind of need to restock the shelves a little bit defensive wise. So good for them for trading up and getting Schneider, I guess.
Great pick by the New York Rangers, who continue to just make some great picks here with accelerating that rebuild that it doesn't seem like it's going to take very long for the Rangers. Must be nice. So with that being said, Kyle, another team that you want to talk about again, the New Jersey Devils are back on the clock.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they had 3 first-round picks in this one, thanks to the Vancouver Canucks. So thank you to them. So they've taken 2 wingers here. So all signs point to either a center or D-man, or they just continue this trend of drafting wingers. So it's either they're taking a Connor Zary here for sure.
I'm looking at defensemen that are available.
Justin Barron, probably.
Justin Barron or Ryan O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Are the 2 that I'm looking at.
I've seen Jeremy Poirier.
There's also on Sportsnet's list, they had number 27, Helg Grans.
Helg Grans. He is
Late
Grans.
bloomer.
He's 6'2", 206 pounds, so he is Grans.
Oh my gosh, Kyle! I wish you had Sportsnet open, because you with the botching of names. Number 28 on Sportsnet's list. His first name is Shakir.
All right, let's see if I can find him.
Defenseman from
I
the
see him.
KHL.
Shakir Mukhamadullin.
That was actually pretty good compared to what your usual pronunciations are.
I'm seeing this guy. Look at this
stud.
stud, William Wallander.
There's some nice names available here. I mean, if you're going off the name draft, I mean, some of these guys left available are pretty
Jake
decent, but-
Neighbors is my favorite right now coming up.
Yeah,
Can the
like
Leafs
a good
trade up and take Jake Neighbors? I'll
Like a
buy
good-
his jersey.
Like a good neighbors, Jake's there. You know?
Jake. Too bad his last name was State
Terrible.
Farm.
Yeah, terrible
Yeah,
State Farm pick there, but
Jake from State Farm got a new job with Neighbors.
So Braden Schneider, who did I miss here? Oh, I missed Lucas Reichel.
Lucas
So
Reichel. How can you forget him?
I don't know. How could I forget the
But-
guy the Leafs took? I don't even know his name.
But yeah, New Jersey taking, my guess, Connor Zary or Justin Barron, or they're just gonna go off the board like the last couple of picks. I mentioned this in my Leafs podcast. All picks like from like 15 down, you never know. Like teams can go way off the board based on their scouts, and they'll trust their scouts after that. So you could see a lot of off the board picks after 15. So who knows with this next pick?
I don't know. I mean, New Jersey. I mean, they've taken 2 wingers already. Like what possibly could we think that they're doing here?
They're gonna take another winger. Let's just we put some money on that they're gonna take freaking John Jason Peterka. I don't even know how to say this guy's name.
Right?
They're gonna continue the trend. They're taking a winger. I'm changing my
3
pick.
wingers.
I'm changing my pick. They're taking a winger. I'm calling it right now.
They just need more wingers, obviously.
Yeah, man. You take all the wingers. Take all the best wingers available. That was their draft plan.
Kyle, why did you change your profile picture to Mitch Marner?
Yeah, that picture is epic. Look at that.
Look at that smile. That is a great smile.
Like that's like picture day for grade 2. That's great there.
That's like Jason Botterill-esque, man. That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what are we gonna get from the New Jersey Devils? The pick is still not in. Last time they picked 20th overall was Jacob Josephson. That didn't work out very well. But yeah, I mean, the New Jersey Devils, number 20 here, guys. Come on, we're almost at 9:30 here. I mean, they probably lost the ratings. The NBA Finals have started, so I mean, I don't really know what you really thinking here.
God, someone just tweeted like a gif of the Leafs pick, Rodion Amirov doing the freaking lacrosse goal. Like, ooh, great, he can do a lacrosse goal. That's not like an often scored goal in the NHL. Like,
Why not?
oh my God, I'm not a fan of that pick
Why are you not?
because I wanted Schneider a goalie. Yeah, that's right. I agree.
I don't know about you, but this is getting pretty slow here.
Mm-hmm.
We've been on the air for 2.5 hours now, and we are at pick number 20. I don't know if we're gonna survive the whole first round, guys. I really don't. But again, I see why they're doing it, to drag it out for ratings. I mean, they need all the ratings and all the
Hey, they said
good
7 to
publicity
10.
they
Come
can
on
get.
now.
There's no way this ends by 10. Yeah, I mean,
Start calling the war rooms. Like, all right, boys, come on, let's go. Get your picks in.
yeah, I mean the pick's in for New Jersey, so here we go with Commissioner Gary Bettman.
Is he announcing the pick?
No. We get to see Tom Fitzgerald for a third time
Great.
here. Darren Pang-esque. Muka Madula.
Oh,
the
they took
defenseman. Shakir Mukamadula.
Mukamadula
From the KHL. Playing over 12 minutes per game and has produced points in early goings of the KHL season. Another player whose development will require... There's something here. Another player whose development will require patience.
6'4", 178 pounds. Big boy.
Mukamadula.
Wow. And he like, oh my God.
6'4". This guy's a Wookiee on skates. Look at this guy.
What an interesting comparison. Craig Button's analysis. Nikita Zadorov.
Yeah.
Rangy with good skating mobility. His mobility is solid, and he takes space defensively. Well, he's 6'4". Reads play well and doesn't play back on his heels. Plays an assertiveness that can be imposing. So he's just a big body out there. There's really nothing else to his game. So whatever. The scout sees something in him that New Jersey wants to be. I don't know what that pick. I love the name, but man, that pick is off the board. I can tell you that. What did I just say before this pick? Like, this is where the off the board picks start to come out, and there you go. There's the first one.
Comparable to Nikita Zadorov and the top two defensemen. Room to improve skating, which in the NHL that's going to be tough. You really need to be able to skate nowadays. Acceleration and size are his strengths, though. So he can accelerate, but he needs to get faster. That makes a lot of sense. They're going to commercial right now, Kyle.
Oh God.
So who was coming? I forget who was coming up at number 21, but
I have it here. It was the not Calgary Flames, the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, you should know the Columbus Blue Jackets very well.
Yeah, I know.
The team that knocked out the Toronto Maple Leafs in the play-in round.
Yeah, who'd you guys get eliminated by?
We played Ottawa in the U.S. Open golf tournament.
Oh.
Anyways, Kyle, again, I mentioned this at the beginning, but especially now, I'm getting pretty hungry. Are you getting pretty hungry? Especially if we're getting pretty hungry talking about Thanksgiving.
To be honest, I'm starving right now.
Do you, we got Canadian Thanksgiving for you Americans listening is right around the corner, coming up this weekend, Kyle. What are you doing for Thanksgiving dinner?
Hopefully eating some turkey. Getting all turkeyed out.
Well, I've got something for you. One of our great sponsors, the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill, they're doing a Thanksgiving dinner promotion. So, again, for $25 plus tax, for only $25, you can get Thanksgiving dinner featuring butternut squash, a delicious combination of white and dark turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, seasoned carrots, corn, and cranberry sauce served with pumpkin pie. Only $25 per serving as your dinner entree. So you can either get this for pickup or for eat-in or pickup as well. So again, you have to pre-order by October 10th, so in a few days here. Payment due at the time of order. Call for 905-371-2323. Again, the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill on Center Street in Niagara Falls. Great sponsor and great local business to support there in Niagara Falls. Again, Thanksgiving dinner. If you don't have any ideas, please give them a look. And it seems like a great value for Thanksgiving dinner. Again, and if you use the promo code ArmchairVeal, 10% off your entire order, courtesy of the Armchair GM Sports Network. So when you call or you eat in, Armchair Veal at the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill. They're doing the Thanksgiving dinner. Make sure you're checking it out. Available between October 10th and 12th if you really need ideas for your Thanksgiving dinner, Kyle. So I know we're pretty disappointed with some of these picks here, but I'm fired up talking about the Thanksgiving dinner and our friends at the Spicy Olive Bar and Grill with what they could offer you if you have any last-minute Thanksgiving dinner ideas. So with that being said, Jarkko Kekalainen is at the podium, ready to go. He's ready to go for the Columbus. I wish Torts was there.
I'm going to guess Connor Zary. That's my guess. Or if
only Torts was there.
Yeah.
He would. Yeah.
Or you can
Gotta
go
love
Finnish.
torches.
Where's the next Finnish player
Well, I mean,
available?
yeah,
oh
I
God,
mean-
he's far down. I got D. Topi Nimella. Don't be
I don't know,
shocked
that
if he
big-
reaches for that.
That big 6'4" D, I felt like he would have been a Tortorella type guy.
Mm.
So unfortunately, they made the big trade earlier. They acquired Max Domi's rights and a 3rd-round pick for Josh Anderson. So
He's going to take
I don't-
Topi Nimella. That's my guess. That's a Finnish defenseman.
Well, he passed on Jesse Puljärvi, which ended up being a very smart pick, getting Pierre-Luc Dubois. So not necessarily going with the Finnish player.
That's just my guess.
I'm gonna say Helg Grans.
Oh,
Seems like-
Helg Grans.
Seems like a type of guy that John Tortorella would like. Late bloomer, adjusting to his growth spurt.
Oh.
There you go. Right shot. And he's a right shot D. They're always coveted. So waiting. Gary Bettman's ready to go to and welcome Jarkko Kekalainen to the stream. There he is.
Who? Who they just take?
Way off the board here. Sam Cosentino said he was starting to make some headway, but Igor Chinakrov.
Oh my God. Where is he ranked on here?
Do you have the crickets for this?
I don't have that up here.
Unfortunately not. I can't find where he's ranked.
Igor, his first name, right? Like Igor.
No, Yeger.
Oh, Yeger.
Igor Chinakhov.
Believe it or not, he's ranked below Daniil Gushin, who's the player the Ice Dogs just got. Who is this guy?
Didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to do a command.
I can't find him. He's
find
not.
here.
He's not on Bob McKenzie's final draft ranking.
There he is. The hockey writers have him ranked 178.
And they
178.
they take him in the first round. This is either going to be the steal of the draft or the biggest bust of the draft.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So the Columbus Blue Jackets, for those about to rock. Yeah. I don't know how Tortorella is going to feel about that. But
Jeez.
another Russian forward. I mean, they're bringing in Mikhail Grigorenko, another, failed NHL prospect, which maybe they should have learned from here. I don't know. But in the first round, just seemed like if they wanted this guy, why would you not trade down? I don't understand. He's playing in Omsk 2 Russia Junior, 69 points in 56 games, 5'11", 179-pound right winger.
God.
His father, Vitaly Chinakhov, was drafted by the Rangers in 1991. Models his play style after Artemi Panarin, according to Sportsnet.
Okay.
Now, I really don't know what to say about that pick because we don't really know anything about
Again,
this guy.
could be the steal of the draft or the worst player taken in the draft at that high.
So it's time to move on here to Calgary, who was supposed to be at 19. They made a trade with the Rangers, so they're picking at 22 now, and they pick up a extra draft pick later in the draft. So we had Calgary picking 19. Now what do you expect them to do?
Oh God. Trading down, I'd say probably best available.
Hendrik Lapierre.
Yeah, they could take a Hendrix Lapierre. Yeah, something's going on with him. There's a reason that he's being passed up on by all these GMs. So
I think it's because he's too cocky to put his jersey in his backdrop. The only guy that did that.
It might be an attitude thing. If they
Jake
don't,
Neighbors.
I mean, they could take the Saskatchewan boy who I thought they were going to take with that last pick, Connor Zary. Maybe they thought they could get Connor Zary later and trade it down on purpose. So I predict maybe a Connor Zary, or I see maybe a Ridley Craig is coming up here on my draft board. So one or the other, like a centerman for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm going with the centerman.
Calgary's on the clock here, minute 35 left. I saw they're going back to their vintage jerseys. So another team along the Flames and the Sabres are going back to their roots here
And the
this year.
Sens.
And the Senators.
Basically.
Well, yeah, the Senators as well. Brad Treliving on the Calgary Flames. I think we are a good team, but we're a team like a lot of teams that need to get better. What? What kind of quote is that? We're a team like a lot of teams that need to get better. Like, wow, what an interesting quote by Brad Treliving there. Must see quote. There's Lapierre again on the screen.
So I made a mistake earlier. I thought that was the goalie that Nashville brought over. That was just Roman Josi holding the jersey. I thought that was the goalie.
Oh my! How do you not recognize Roman Josi?
And he's been blown up on Twitter. People are like saying, "My wife just seen Roman Josi," and then the "Hello Darkness, my old friend" gif, because he was looking like an absolute stud. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. And Philadelphia and then Washington's up after that. So Calgary, they've named Jeff Ward the head coach. He's now no longer the interim head coach, and he is now going to be the full-time head coach going forward for the Calgary Flames. A playoff team there. Didn't do a whole lot in the playoffs, but again, according to best available on Sam Cosentino's list, like you mentioned, Connor Zary, Hendrik Lapierre, Jacob Perreault.
Craig Button actually had the Columbus pick ranked 59th, believe it or not. So Craig Button sees something that we don't either. So Keekalainen and Craig Button, man, they see something.
I guess so. Picks in for Calgary. Well, the clock's hit 0 for Calgary, so either the picks in or they're out of luck. But we'll have to wait and see how it's going here. No determination on what's going on with this pick
trade
here.
down
They're
again?
still talking. They're still talking. Maybe they don't like anybody here. I don't know what to tell you.
Is the time run out yet?
Yeah, the time's at the clock has struck 0 for the Calgary Flames. So either we're trying to negotiate a trade here or finalize a trade.
We're gonna get our first time out of the draft.
I mean, they traded down and now they have no idea what they're doing.
I see the little live look at their war room there. It looks like a
if it's
freaking
anything-
buffet table.
Oh, okay, Brian Burke. Are you about done talking? Because I'm ready for this pick to be over with already. I'd much rather plug our sponsors than talk about
I should
waiting
just
here
plug
for
it now,
Calgary
man.
to
This pick can take forever.
No, we're seeing war rooms now. Half of them are empty. Oh boy, what is going on with Calgary here? Like, I don't understand what the delay is here.
If it's a trade, it better be significant. It better not be like cricket worthy.
I mean, we're waiting. The clock has hit 0 for Calgary for at least a minute at this
Like,
point.
is there no rule saying like, that's it? Like what's the allowance after the clock strikes 0?
I don't know what is going on here with these guys, but it's yeah. Bro, what? Like, it doesn't even look
Yeah, I
like
love
they're-
the empty war room shot. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this buffet table for Calgary looks interesting. The only thing they're missing is the buffet in the middle. There's Gary Bettman.
Oh, finally, here we go.
Another trade.
Oh, here we go. They traded down again. Let me play it.
We have a trade to announce. And for those of you in the building, you'll be particularly interested.
Okay.
So what do you got with this one?
22 traded to Washington for 24 and 80. So Calgary picking up another
Late
mid-round
round pick.
draft pick. Another mid-round pick for trading down, and now Washington is on the clock, but I guess they're really going to take the full 5 minutes again. So we're going to sit here waiting for Calgary not to make the pick, and now waiting for Washington for 5 minutes.
Unless Washington knows right away, that's the reason why they traded up. So
No, because now they're going to sit here and talk about it for 5 minutes.
So who do you think Washington's going to take now?
Oh my god! Now they're talking to the Sens prospect. All right, That being said, the Niagara Employment Help Center, helping job seekers find work with their free services and counseling professionals, located at 6100 Throllstone Road, Niagara Falls, across from the Camisos Plaza. Book your appointment today, 905-358-0021 or ehc.on.ca. Again, the Niagara Employment Help Center, they got great people over there to help you and assist you find work during this these tough times in this pandemic. So again, if you're looking for a job right now with being out of work, go and check them out, the Niagara Employment Help Center. They'll do their best to steer you in the right direction and help that job search for you guys. So again, the Niagara Employment Help Center, ehc.on.ca. Kyle, so the Washington Capitals are now on the clock here. What are we looking at from a team that, it was pretty disappointing for them to be out so quickly, I think, in the playoffs this year. They've won a couple a few years back. They're still in win now mode with Alex Ovechkin and John Carlson, obviously. What are you thinking from the Capitals' perspective? Do you think they go forward or D?
I'm looking at their prospect pool now. In terms of prospect forwards, I got Connor McMichael, Axel Janssen. I can't say Jalby. I can't say that guy's freaking name. For the life of me, could not. A few other good ones. Daniel Sprong, not really considered prospect anymore. He's up to 23 years old. But, Alexander Alexiev on D is a prospect. They could go D here, but if there's a best forward available, I wouldn't doubt they wouldn't go for a forward. In terms of looking of who they were particularly looking at and trading up, maybe it is finally Mr. Henry Laperriere getting taken here. Or maybe they take a Jacob Perreault or a Connor Zary. Or
Kyle, do you want to check the stream?
Check the stream.
Yeah, it said the screen went blank according to somebody watching the stream.
Oh, the sound was playing. It should have looked. I had to transition with our horn. I have YouTube dashboard open. We're good.
Okay.
It goes black for a second. If they have the sound, they can hear the trade alert.
Okay. So, with that being said, Peter Laviolette, new head coach with the Washington Capitals. So,
is he announcing
maybe
the pick?
he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Maybe he has an influence on it. No, they've got somebody ready to go at the podium. So,
it's got to be Henry Laperriere's. Lapierre's attitude, and it's going to take a team that's going to put attitude aside to draft him now at this point, because he's dropping down very low, especially for a highly ranked player.
Mm-hmm. So the pick is in for the Washington Capitals.
Here we go.
Number 22.
Finally,
this pick's taken 10 minutes. Brian McClellan making the pick for Washington, trading up. Hendrix Lapierre. There it is. Finally, this guy goes.
Yeah, they're like, screw his attitude. We'll play on our team. We'll win a cup with him. Wow, man. Now they can finally go nuts, them.
Yep, there it is. I'm surprised he doesn't have the Capitals jersey up, but he was ranked number 18 on Sportsnet. He was ranked I'm still at like 120 whatever, or 170 for that other guy. He was ranked number 14 on the HockeyWriters.com. Yep. So Kyle,
15 on TSN, and in NHL final rankings, he was 13 in North American skaters. Taken so late, crazy. Apparently, he is comparable to Patrice Bergeron, elite number 1 two-way center. His projection, a complete two-way center who can play in every square inch of the ice and be productive, outstanding sense and feel of all situations with the ability to process quickly. So his play, it looks like, for all intensive purposes here, his play is there, right? His skill is there. It kind of just seems like his attitude, which caused him to fall down. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, he had his jersey, his own jersey in the background.
Only player to do that.
Only player to do that. So that just kind of tells you a little bit about his attitude and how cocky he is. And believe it or not, that makes a big difference to GMs and who they pick. So
not just armchair GMs talking here,
yeah.
But he had obviously he's had his injury struggles. He only played in 17 or 19 games last year, but he was ranked very high for Chicoutimi in the QMJHL. So Again, he was ranked very high. Kyle, the Washington Capitals trading up here to get this guy. Very nice prospect added to the Washington Capitals system here, I believe.
Oh, for sure, man. That's a very, very solid choice. You're adding to like a prospect pool that includes a Connor McMichael as well. So they're building their team for the future slowly but surely. The Washington Capitals, man, they're not looking to go anywhere into a rebuild anytime soon. They're going to be transitioning pretty well.
Getting some very nice value picks as well. But now transitioning to number 23, the Philadelphia Flyers are on the clock. So let's take a look at the
Shout outs to our
situation.
bud Mark with this one.
And Ray Bateman as well.
Ray Bateman, another friend of ours.
Another friend of the podcast, global ambassador Ray. What do we call him? Connor McBateman.
Connor McBateman. So,
anyways, so if you're listening, Ray, I don't know, but regardless, we're looking at the Philadelphia Flyers here. And, a team that, I think they shocked some people. They exceeded expectations this year with that run they went on before the pandemic hit. And then they were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Kind of disappointing how things ended for them. But they got some aging forwards there with Voracek, Hayes, Claude Giroux, JVR. They're going to have to kind of restock the shelves a little bit here. I mean, they do have a decent prospect pool, but
nothing just yet, but like in the next couple of years for sure. Like their prospect pool is set for the next couple of years, though. Like guys like German Rubitsov, Morgan Frost, Matthew Strome, Maxim Shushko. I've heard a couple of good things about David Case too. They have a pretty good forward prospect pool. Defense prospect pool is slightly lacking a little bit, so I probably think they'd go D here. So
Justin Barron
maybe. Or if there's an off-the-board pick, O'Rourke, if they wanted to choose to go that far down.
Barron's a right D, so...
Yeah, William Wallender's been projected into the first round as well in a lot of rankings that I see here. So there's a couple of D they could go for. I mean, William Wallander is a nice, big Swedish defenseman, 6'4", $191. Again, projected in a lot of the first-round rankings. So he could be a solid D man they could go after. So I'd say probably D is my guess.
They're in commercial break right now, Kyle.
Of course they are.
Yep. So we're going to do the same. Custom PPE. Custom PPE is the number 1 source for custom printed face masks from right here in the Niagara region. Check out their personalized logo and face masks, and now with adjustable ear loop and full color printing. Very low minimums, great pricing, and quickest turnaround. CustomPPE.ca is Canada's largest face mask provider, serving schools, teams, and businesses all over the country. Call today at 1-855-55-CUSTOM. Or visit them online at customppe.ca is the easiest way to find them for instant pricing and to build your custom face masks. Use the code armchair at checkout for 20% off your entire order. Again, customppe.ca. Once you get your order, once you're at checkout, use the code armchair, 20% off, courtesy of your friends at the Armchair GM Sports Network. Another one of our great sponsors, and built from right here in the Niagara region. Custom PPE, and for all your PPE needs, again, customppe.ca. Code armchair for 20% off.
Code armchair.
Kyle, we're back. Code armchair. Everything from the Armchair GMs. You're always going to get value listening to us here.
Hell yeah.
But with that being said, the Flyers are up, and it looks like Chuck Fletcher is ready to go with the pick, but it still says the clock is ticking, even though he's standing there, ready to pick.
That must be so awkward.
There's a jersey hanging behind him, so I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a wait and a delay here as he announces the significance of this jersey. The pick is in. He's still not talking yet. They're still showing Brian Burke.
I think we've had enough of Brian Burke at this point, man. Like, just switch. They're ready to go. Just like cut him off and switch it over.
I've seen a year's worth of Brian Burke already tonight. We had the TV on mute, obviously, but Gary Bettman is ready to announce Chuck Fletcher. So who's your pick here for Philly?
D, man. So either a Barron. I'm gonna say Barron or Wallander.
Okay, Chuck Fletcher is ready to go. Oh, it was a scout for the Flyers who passed away.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Standing behind him. they're dedicating this draft to this scout. So good job by the Flyers. They're ready to pick number 23, Tyson Forster. Okay, so that's another guy who we have watched this year play against the Niagara Ice Dogs. Right winger for the Barrie Colts.
Yeah, good size winger, man. Good size winger. You're getting a lot with this kid.
According to Sportsnet, hours after the April rankings came out, they received a text, "You missed on Forster." It was from Dale Hawerchuk. So the late, great Dale Hawerchuk said that they missed on Forster. That's the lasting impression of Dale, and definitely good enough of an endorsement. So Dale Hawerchuk endorsing that this guy should have been ranked. And again, he's number 30 on Sportsnet's list. He goes at number 23 to the Philadelphia Flyers. So another solid pick here from the Ontario Hockey League by the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, and he was literally an Ice Dog killer. That's what I remember him. Every time that the Ice Dogs played the Barrie Colts, he scored 1 or 2 goals every single time we played them. Like he's a stud. I can attest to that. Like he looks really good. So the Flyers are picking up a stud with that winger, man. He's going to be a big part of their future.
Got one of the best shots in the draft according to EliteProspects.com. 80 points in 62 games for the Barrie Colts. Yeah. 6'2", 194 from Alliston, Ontario. Yeah. His comparison is Steven Stamkos. Potential top 6 winger, strength, shot, and quick release.
That's a lot to live up to.
Room to improve. First step in speed. So I think he's going to have to fix that if he wants to be compared to Steven Stamkos.
Yeah.
And there's Sam Cosentino showing the text with Dale Hawerchuk. You missed on Forster. So that's again that's pretty tough stuff to talk about.
We can transition to this though. Who's next on the clock?
Calgary's back up at number 24. So they just took
no one. They traded twice down, did they not?
Oh yeah, they traded twice. See, Calgary's they're making a fool out of me. I thought they already picked twice. They traded down. Does Calgary trade again? They've already picked up 2 mid-round picks by trading down. They must really not like anybody.
They're gonna clean up in the second and third rounds where they come alive, baby.
So Calgary at number 24. So again, let's analyze this pick again as if they're picking it. What are we looking at from Calgary? Who are they finally gonna take here?
I feel like a broken record. Connor Zary is one.
A good neighbor still there as well.
Ridley Craig, another WHL guy. I feel like they're going to be taking someone from the West. That's just my gut. Or Jake Neighbors, yeah. So I'm going to pick one of those 3. I'm leaning more towards a Connor Zary for sure. But who knows? Maybe they trade down again. They're probably going to take the entire clock here too.
Yeah. So Calgary has wasted
everybody's
almost 20
time.
minutes of my life.
Yeah.
20 minutes of my life thanks to the Calgary Flames. I'll never get back.
Yeah.
But they're still on the clock with 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Well, Brad Treliving's ready to go at the podium.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
He's ready to go, but they're still talking.
Stop talking. Go to him. Pick is in.
Colorado at 25 is going to be interesting. I'm actually excited to talk about them. Love what Colorado's been doing. But Calgary, they're finally going to pick after trading down twice in this draft. So Brad Treliving's adjusting his tie. He's all ready to go.
Yeah,
Sam Cosentino is like, I don't know, he's doing like a rinsing out impersonate. I don't know what he's doing, but now Brian Burke showing somebody holding a fish in a picture. This is just getting ridiculous. Can we just get on with the pick here for Calgary, please? Craig Conroy, the assistant GM there to Brad Treliving. Great Calgary Flame. But Kyle, to fill the air here, their 2 biggest needs are goaltending and defense, according to Brad Treliving. So maybe they're not going with a forward.
I still wouldn't put it past them, but take it forward.
We have been on the air for almost 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to any of those of you who tuned in for 10 minutes or for 3 hours. We really do appreciate it as we continue to try to bring more solid YouTube content to the channel. Again, armchairgmsports.com, and please subscribe if you like. Give us a thumbs up as well if you like what you see here, and make sure you're checking out our great sponsors. Again, great promo codes from our sponsors, and make sure you're checking them out and supporting local business during this time. It's very important. But Calgary still on the clock, even though Brad Treliving, again, this has got to be the story of the draft. The GMs are ready, but the clock is still moving. So it's basically just, let's just wait. And, At least they're showing us that they're waiting on purpose, and this isn't actually the general managers. They're trying to do this for TV sake. But if you're going off of Sportsnet, they were supposed to be off the air in 4 minutes. So,
God. Thank you, Calgary.
Calgary is going. They're legitimately letting Calgary use the 5-minute clock here. So Calgary has officially wasted 15 minutes of this draft to themselves, and they haven't even selected anything yet. 15 minutes for one pick. I have no words right now. Just the Calgary Flames. I don't know, like Brad Treliving, man.
I want to know what Calgary Flame fans are thinking right now about this.
This is just nauseating.
I kind of want to just check out Flames Twitter right now. I'm gonna look up the hashtag. I forget what was their Go Flames Go. What the heck is their freaking hashtag? Flames. Okay. It's just
All right,
Flames.
here we go. Brad Treliving's ready to go. Finally. Somebody else will be making the selection. Lanny McDonald.
Oh
is
my
making the
God.
selection look at that mustache.
That's fantastic.
Oh, here he goes with his Hockey Hall of
Oh,
Fame speech over
God.
here. Lanny, the Flames have wasted enough time. Make the
Pick
selection.
the damn pick.
Calgary has literally they have hijacked this draft. For not picking anybody. They made one pick and wasted 20 minutes. You Flame fan owe me an apology for this.
Like, this is brutal.
He's not even making the selection.
Oh my God.
He's handing it off to somebody else.
Just make the pick. What's with the theatrics?
Connor Zary.
Oh
is a
my
Calgary
God,
Flame.
thank-
So at least they took the guy that they should have taken here. I mean,
They could have
again,
taken him 3 picks ago.
Well, they traded down and got some more assets, obviously.
Oh man.
I mean, that was the consensus best guy left available. So
We
good on
waited
Calgary,
15 minutes for Connor Zary. I hope he's worth it for you Flames fans, because I wouldn't have been. That's hard to endure sitting there as a Flames fan. My God.
it was over 20 minutes by the time Lanny McDonald was done giving his
Hall of Fame
know,
speech.
inauguration speech over there.
Oh my
But
God.
I think the guy I compare myself to is Bo Horvat, according to Connor Zary. His live stream's terrible right now. Look at this. Oh my God.
Hey, he's in the West, man. You got to give him a break.
Yeah, I guess
He's from
so.
Saskatoon.
He had 86 points in 57 games for the Kamloops Blazers.
They don't have good Wi-Fi in Saskatoon.
Yeah, so good for Calgary finally making the selection and taking the guy that was ranked, the highest ranked guy available, number 16 on Sportsnet, and at the Hockey Writers he was ranked number 16. So was that 16 and 16?
We have
16.
We have 6 picks left here. My God, we're at the 10 o'clock mark. We've been on the air for 2 hours and 56 minutes.
Yeah, so for those of you stuck with us, we appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this and enjoying us enduring the Calgary Flames. I don't know what we've endured more, the Calgary Flames taking all of our time here, or the Sabres and Leafs kind of taking picks that we didn't expect. But
I'm
regardless
tweeting
of
that
that,
out. I'm tweeting now. It's Connor Zary, right?
yep.
Connor Zary, the 20-minute man.
Yep. And with that being said, let's talk about the Colorado Avalanche. Love what this team's been doing. They're a very exciting team to watch. What are they going to take? Because they stole Bowen Byram last year by getting the Sens pick. So with him and Cale Makar, their defense core is going to look very good going into the future. So, and obviously we know what they have with their skill up front.
Yeah.
A very dynamic, a very fast team. What are you thinking from the Colorado Avalanche? I mean, they don't really have any needs, but if you had to choose what you would think that they would go for, they got Connor Timmins, Bowen Byram as far as defense prospects. Maybe another forward prospect coming up through the ranks.
I think they take best available. And right now, best available, you got guys like Jacob Perreault available, Ridley Craig, Justin Barron. So, I don't know. This one's hard for me because just knowing the Colorado Avalanche's team right now, I'd say they probably go forward. My guess is they're going to take either a Perreault or Ridley Craig or even maybe John Jason Peterka or somebody lower. I think they go forward here. Yeah.
we gonna be able? I don't know if we're gonna be able to last.
I don't know if we can last. It's so long.
I don't even know.
Calgary's really ruined this for us.
The Calgary they've ruined this draft, and we've been on for almost 3 hours. I don't know. Waiting for Colorado to pick a 25. I'm interested in that, but other than that, we have teams like teams that have basically made made either the Western Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals.
The only teams that are going to benefit from these next couple picks are Anaheim and Ottawa, and they've already picked up a ton of good talent so far, so their picks are not needed.
maybe this will be it for us on the live stream tonight.
Yeah, let's call it. I'll say Colorado Avalanche, and then we're done.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Joe Sakic does here, but other than that, we don't want to bore you guys with any more waiting because we've done enough waiting tonight thanks to Calgary. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, 3 hours on the live stream for the NHL draft. But I've enjoyed it very much.
Yep, me too.
This is the story of the draft. Joe Sakic is waiting at the podium, and Colorado is still saying that they're on the clock. This is...
Why is there a delay?
The airtime for Sam Cosentino and Brian Burke tonight is incredible.
They should, if you see a guy at the podium, the pick should be already in. It should say pick is in.
We don't wait for them to talk. If they go to the podium, they're ready to go for a typical NHL draft.
Then you get the footage of the GMs talking to the kids, or you get the interviews with the kids, you getting their initial reaction to drafting by the team. Do people actually sit there and care what they say? You telling me you can't clip that and put it on the website?
I don't know, but again, not a lot of needs for this Avs team. They're just going to continue to get better. Very young, dynamic team going forward, and what really did they need at this point? I mean, maybe a goaltender, but I mean, Grubauer and Frank Hughes don't really know what to expect from that, but. Justice Anunin is their prospect goalie. He's 20 years old, but
Justice.
The last 5 first-round picks: Alex Newhook, another stud centerman, Bowen Byram, just great picks by the Colorado Avalanche. Joe Sakic has been standing here for 3 minutes.
I'm gonna pick I think they take William Wallander. That's just my gut. Wallander or Barron. I'm picking Wallander or Barron. I think they're going D here. I got a gut feeling they're going D.
The pick is in for the Colorado Avalanche, and we're still continuing to hear Brian Burke talk about Gabriel Landeskog for some reason. That's what we're waiting for. This is going to be the last pick again for the Armchair GM Sports Network's version of the NHL Draft Lottery and our live reactions and analysis to the Draft Lottery. This is going to be it for us tonight, folks. Number 25, the pick is in for Colorado.
There we go.
Gary Bettman's ready to go.
Woo.
Hopefully it's a good one for us to end off with. Here's Joe Sakic, ready to go.
Trade to Calgary.
Justin Barron, nice pick. Great pick.
Oh, man. They're just loading, man. They're just loading.
Colorado adding Justin Barron to an already DECOR that already is going to include Bowen Byram and the Calder Trophy winner, Cale Makar. Wow. Again, if you're not on this Colorado Avalanche bandwagon yet, you should jump on it because this team is going to be scary for the next decade. I'm calling it right now. They're going to win multiple Stanley Cups. Just the way that this organization is built, Again, I'm not a fan of this team. Mikko Rantanen is my favorite player in the NHL that's not on Buffalo or San Jose. But regardless of that, this is just such a fun team to watch, and a team that I go out of my way to watch, because Colorado is just, they're such a dynamic, exciting team to watch that play the new style of NHL that everybody wants to see, and what people are interested in seeing. So they add another great young defenseman to this already stacked up and coming lineup. So I think that was a great pick to end off on, Kyle. I don't know about you.
Yeah, good.
Philip Zadina was drafted in 20. This is another pick from Halifax Mooseheads. They've Zadina, Hishe, Timo Meyer, Ehlers, Drouin, and McKinnon. Wow, another first-round pick added to the Halifax Mooseheads. So, but the first ever Halifax defenseman taken in the first round. So, there's that for you Colorado Avalanche fans. Must be nice getting another nice player there. But with that being said, Kyle, anything you want to mention before we wrap up our 3-hour live stream here tonight for the 2020 NHL Draft?
No, I will probably release another podcast soon with initial reactions, or maybe I'll wait another week until free agent frenzy's a little bit over and do another podcast with those reactions to what the Leafs did to me today. But other than that, this was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to do a lot more live stuff here on YouTube, a lot more video stuff coming our way with this network as it continues to grow here, especially here in the Niagara region. So just be patient with us as we get through everything. And again, we're always looking for more input as well. If you guys want to see things that you don't see, you want us to do, let us know. You can either tweet at us, slide into our DMs, you can leave comments down on YouTube, or even email us at our email. So you can go to our website, armchairgmsports.com, and contact us that way. So we're always looking for our fan input as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're looking forward to a lot of the Dog Pound stuff coming up. Again, if you guys are OHL hockey fans, we're media members for the Niagara Ice Dogs. So really looking forward to covering that team, hopefully, if the season does get underway in December. But with that being said, Kyle, a lot of good stuff coming to the network. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. And again, make sure you're checking out our sponsors as well. They really help us out here, and we need to help them out in this time, in this pandemic. So make sure you're using those sponsorship promo codes and telling them that the Armchair GM sent you. It really makes a big difference for them, but for us as well, as we're a small business as well, trying to get our feet off the ground here. So we really appreciate all the support that we've gotten so far, and as we continue to grow our sports network into something special here in the Niagara region. So make sure to support anything local here. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. Very special episode of the Under Review Hockey Podcast. Again, hopefully we'll be back shows for Kyle with the Leaf stuff, myself for the Sabres, but as well, hopefully recapping the free agent frenzy, which opens up this Friday. So we will be back with a lot more hockey content in the near future, talking about a very busy offseason in the NHL, right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network, your source North American sports coverage by sports fans, for sports fans, delivered to you right here in the beautiful Niagara region. As always, I'm one of your hosts of the Under Review Podcast, Cappy. You can follow me on Twitter at Kaputs13 with a Canadian Z. As well, you can follow my co-host Kyle at JustKyle51. And for his I'm really looking forward to his Toronto Maple Leafs tweets later. But that being said, a big thank you, like I mentioned, to all of our great sponsors who help put us on, support the network, keep the show on the air. Make sure you're checking them out. And finally, lastly, most importantly, to you viewers out there for tuning in and listening along with us for this very long live stream, and the first of hopefully of many to come on YouTube Live here. Thank you so much for the 3 hours of coverage here. And make sure you're giving us a like and subscribe if you like the content that you saw today. And once again, this has been the Under Review Hockey Podcast on the Armchair GM Sports Network by sports fans, for sports fans. We'll see you guys again very soon.